I love the West.
I love the West.
I love the West. It's where I belong.
I am proud to be a son of the West.
It is a badge of honour.
Our supporters are the salt of the earth.
They've stuck through thick and thin.
For years and bloody years.
They've gone through a lot of pain.
And suffering.
They spent their whole life dreaming this day would come.
Hoping and praying
that one day we'll win another flag.
We've had to fight to save this club.
89 really tested us.
But those battles have only made us stronger.
When we had to fight to save the club.
That was when the league found out
how tough a Bulldog really is.
When we had our backs to the wall.
That's when we fought hardest.
You've got to be in your 60s to remember the only time the Doggies won the flag.
1954.
I've heard stories of how tough they were.
Charlie Sutton, the human tank.
Shop early, avoid the rush, he'd say.
And then there's Teddy.
Dad was everyone's idol. He was big and bold.
And when he shook your hand,
his grip was like a vice.
I could imagine what he'd say to today's team.
Now we've got our backs against the wall, we're going to fight, and we're going to fight hard. It's going to be a do-or-die effort. It's going to be a determined bit. You've got to show me all the guts and all the determination you've got in your body. You've got to inspire me.
How important is this game?
It's everything to all of us.
The boys have done a fantastic job, but they know the job's only half done.
How will I feel if we win?
Proud.
Proud.
Proud to be a son of the West. And I reckon I'll tell Teddy
that we stuck it right up him.
That we stuck it right up him.
We stuck it right up him.
Teddy, we stuck it right up him.
Well, Bob Murphy, he wrote one of the best articles I've ever written, or ever read, written by a footballer. And he said late in the article, my Bulldogs don't have the market cornered when it comes to romance. Well, they're pretty close to having it cornered. If you don't barrack for the Swans, everyone that is neutral seems to be barracking for one side.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, well, they're the new blood in it. The Swans have been in grand finals recently. They've won grand finals recently. So the Bulldogs haven't been in one for a long time. So clearly, they're everyone's emotional favourite.
Yeah, and you can see the two build-ups with the team. Sydney have been a lot more relaxed. They've been a bit calmer. I think with the Doggies, they're trying to keep their mind off it. They've been trying to keep them up. You saw before they were doing the old handball. It's not strenuous, but it's just keeping their mind off the game. Just there, they're doing some fast feeds, getting the body ready for intense start to the game.
We've beaten all the others, defied all of the odds. Today, this team of puppies become true bull gods. Well, maybe there's still 2 hours of football. This is hair on the back of your neck stuff. In the background, Ted Whitten is inspiring the MCG, that famous three-quarter time speech. You've got to inspire me, son.
I sometimes think, the players are the calmest people in the stadium because they're now going out to do what they're good at. And even though there's the consequences later in the game and there's performance anxiety we talk about, this is their moment.
And this is what grand final's all about. This is where it tests your nerves. You're about to walk out, you're about to look at the race. Just supporters are about to go bananas, and that's going through every one of the Bulldogs players right now.
It is so Colosseum and so gladiatorial. There will be a chart like few other teams have received in recent times.
It's going to go bananas. Here we go.
The last player out was followed by the captain, Bob Murphy. He looked at the banner, he smiled and he turned left. He didn't walk through it.
Tell us about the photo, Hodgie. One click the cameraman's got.
Yeah, it's obviously a different one. Very rarely you run through a banner in a big game. You've got to sit down and have a smile. But they would have spoken to the boys about it. They would have said, don't worry about it. It's part of your preparation. Have the photo and off you go into your standard warm-up.
So you've been well prepared, have you, for what happens now in the next 6 minutes or so? We've still got a national anthem to come.
Yeah, exactly right. They go through at the start of the week. It's going to be a different build-up. You've got to be a bit more flexible with your mindset. There's obviously the photo. You go into a bit of a warm-up. You have the national anthem, and then you've got to wait for the umpires. You've got to shake the umpires' hands, and then game on.
Just remarkable noise, Lee. That was just the Western Bulldogs heading down to the city end, that roar.
Yeah. There's red, white and blue all over the stadium. It's interesting. I mean, obviously they're the new kid on the block. This is all new to them. But the actual Swans team have been to this a couple of times, so the procedure you talk about, Hodgie, which is so different on grand final day because of pre-game entertainment and all those issues, at least the Swans have experienced that routine.
Well, it's that loud down here. You don't know what's going on as a player. They're just trying to go through the normal things, as you said there. Half the boys, the Doggies boys, were smiling as they walked out, so it says they're pretty relaxed. They're ready to play football.
You've given this address before, Hodgie. When do you start thinking about it?
Oh, mate, you start the morning off. You don't want to stuff this one up. Make sure when you get to the game, you're just trying to reiterate what the coach has said. But it's that there. McVeigh's going to be at the start of the bottom of the race, ready to walk up, just telling the boys it's game on tonight. We've got to make sure that we do everything we can as a team and do what we've done to get ourselves here.
Is there a better feeling than leading your football club up this race, Lee?
No, Hodgie and I have both been fortunate enough to do that. Getting in the cup at the end of the game, Hodgie, that might be better as a captain. But either way, you just have so much respect for your teammates because you've got to the final game. So you've got to have played well enough to get there. So there's this enormous camaraderie within the group.
It's actually right. There's a massive bond for the blokes that play in a grand final. But as the Sydney boys of 2012 know, that bond goes a lot further if you can walk off the MCG with a grand final cup.
Pretending everything's calm. What are you feeling at this point, Lee?
Oh, me, I just love the excitement of it, Havers, even when you're not involved. But when you're involved, sort of going into the unknown, Don Longmire there, as I say, he'll stay out for the national anthem, but it's now a player's game. The guys inside the white line, they're going to win or lose it.
Yeah, exactly right. This is where the build-up is. This is where, as you see, from right now, apart from the national anthem, they're trying to go through the same things they've done the last month.
At this point, you're doing your first warm-up. Are you struggling to breathe, struggling to feel yourself? Is it different to a home and away game, same point in time? Does the mind play tricks on you?
Oh, mate, your whole body does. It's a weird feeling. The heart rate's going. You got the goosebumps on your neck. You're sweating. You just want to go and play football, but you know it's a small step before you get that first bounce. But it's all worth it once that first siren sounds.
That's the great challenge, is it? To concentrate on your KPIs, all the things that you have to do within the game that are really the same every week you play. There's you versus the opposition, but all the noise and all the hype and everything that's gone on during the week, that's that ability to concentrate and focus on what you need to concentrate. That is the challenge that the players have to confront.
Without a doubt, it's that hard on grand final day. With so much going on, it's a tough thing to do.
What do you think, Hodgie, the experience counts for? 9 Swans haven't played in a grand final before. None of the Bulldogs have played in a grand final before.
It all depends on the start. And if Sydney get off to a really good start, it's going to be interesting to see what the Doggies' younger blokes do. They've got a young defence. It all depends on how they start and how they react. I'm pretty sure if the Doggies get off to a good start, the Sydney senior blokes will be able to calm things down and keep them going. But it all depends with the younger Doggies.
Would you think, Hodgie, you'd get your best, from the Bulldogs' point of view, get your best centre square squad in there for the first few minutes?
I think both teams will start it like that. I think on such a big day, you've got to get the ball played in your half the ground. So the more stoppages, the more contested possession you get, and the more inside 50s early is pretty crucial.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Premiership Cup Ambassador Michael O'Loughlin with the 2016 AFL Premiership Cup. And we acknowledge our club legends, Peter Bedford from the Sydney Swans and John Schultz from the Western Bulldogs. May the best team win. And ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding and join in with Vicar and Linda Bull to sing the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
Garrett, all the best. Okay, Eastern, your call, your away team. So heads is the call, and it's heads. Good luck.
So Eastern wins the toss, but I'm looking forward, Timmy, to seeing which forward line can take advantage. And we know the Swans have been fast starters. Buddy Franklin, he looks like he is in incredibly ominous form leading into this game. He looks like he is switched on for a big grand final. He averages 3.5 goals in finals. We know we're going to get something out of him. Who's going to bob up down the other end for the Western Bulldogs? It was Clay Smith last week. Will it be Tory Dixon? Can Jake Stringer perform in a grand final? That's what I'm looking forward to. Who can bob up in that Western Bulldogs forward line and provide them the spark? Because I think Franklin will do it down the other end.
Boys, it's going to be a fierce opening first quarter.
No doubt about it. Well done, Richo, and also to Tim. So both these teams played for a fourth time in a final series. We've never had that before in the history of the game. Two teams with 3 consecutive weeks behind them.
Well, they both played great footy. Well, probably excluding for the Swans their first effort against GWS, but gee, they rebounded from that. The Bulldogs, their form this final series, Doug, has been nothing short of special. To go to Perth, to be able to beat the West Coast Eagles, come back, beat the champs, the Hawks, and then to travel again to Spotless, that is brilliant form.
And this is the best part of a grand final. Before the bounce, there's a million questions going through your mind. Lingy, will I play well? Will I get a kick? How will we start? So many question marks. The players right now just can't wait for the ball to be bounced.
And you almost, in that middle group, the midfielder group, you almost want to seek out body contact. You want to get hit early. You want to get ball in hands, but you want to feel the body contact.
Umpires this afternoon, Stevitt, Meredith and Jeffrey. Jeffrey in his first grand final. The other two in their fourth. Wait for the opening bounce. The MCG at Cauldron now. It's on the line and away we go. Opening bounce of the game. Naismith taps it down. Thumped out of there by Bontempelli down towards half forward. Smith had it, lost it. Lloyd upended. Parker feeds it back, taken by Laidler. Kicks towards the outer side wing. Johannesen did pretty well. Roughhead wide. Bontempelli another touch. Searing kick to half forward. Bounces off the chest of Boyd. Loose ball. Hanbury emerges with it. Gets a hand pass away to Kennedy. Kennedy up towards the wing. Tippett dropped it. Naismith grabs it. Kicks towards half forward. 50-50 ball. Boyd, third man in. Hand pass to no one in particular. The giant runs on. Naismith cut down to size. Boyd over the top. Bontempelli. Missed Dalhouse. Loose ball. Hanbury on top, trying to reach in there. Liberatore, Dalhouse didn't have the footy, Bruce.
Gee, what a start, Dennis. Advantage again paid. Bontempelli and Kennedy were toe-to-toe in that opener. Morris, Hamling's little kick forward, a little scruffy, not great. Lloyd on the ups, had a wonderful season, a great final series. And McVeigh, good to see him out there. Hot ball for Kennedy. Tahini, clean hands, not surprised with that. Kicks to Jack, twists, turns, gets a free. Hanbury wrong side for him, doesn't matter. Kicks to you-know-who, gets it. He's within range. And just a little too tall for Papley. Didn't go back and went for the big one. Still with Papley, Tippett now in dispute. Ball sneaking out. Johannesen and Liberatore belts it as far as he can.
Bounces on the wing. Favours Dixon. Lloyd goes in after it. Bumped off it. And Smith is dragged down. Well, what do? Take your shot if you're Franklin, or do you pass it?
Oh, I think he should have gone back and had a shot. He had the distance, but he's been doing that well. His field kicking has been superb. But what about the tackling? What about the start? Players not a second to get rid of it.
It's a great start. Roughhead having a good start too. Kicks it down towards full forward. Laidler stood his ground. Gets a free kick.
Thank you.
He was paid the mark, but they were bearing down. He was taken high. Doesn't matter. Probably does to him. Smith, Lloyd. Back end of the season, very good for this man. He's up from the back pocket.
Looks like Hamling is going to take Franklin, boys.
High ball to the wing then. Rowan's in front. Morris took a swipe at it, missed it, finds it close to the boundary, feeds it forward. Little 1-2 with Picken over the top. This is Smith. Great game last week. Back to Picken. Picken runs, has a bounce. He's at 50. Open goal square. Kicks to it. Getting back is Heaney. All the time in the world, Grundy.
Has a little time himself. Wants Hanbury, asks a bit of him. So 2 young left footers here. He turns liver. Naismith getting a bit of the ball early like Roughhead, his opposite. So just for one moment we catch our breath. McVeigh's kick's good. McLean. Stories everywhere in this match, aren't they? This is one of them. McLean, neat. Patley. Second time he's gone from mark and hasn't quite got it. McVeigh from Naismith. Again McVeigh with that neat kicking style. Franklin burst the pack, couldn't quite. Hamling, Wood, Bontempelli getting a lot of it early. Careful kick, good one. Johannesson takes the mark at centre wing.
And a fine season. Johannesson spots a man in the middle. Roughhead. Dalhouse searching run to space. Stringer knocked away by Rampy, arriving quickly. Smith couldn't reel it in. Laidler laid it off then. Grundy, dangerous pass. Smith has got it. What a bright start. Both sides having their moments.
It's like a game of pinball, isn't it?
It is. There's basically no stoppages at all. And all of the players right now, their lungs are bursting. Their legs would feel like lead weights. They probably just want a little break in play.
Kennedy to Lloyd to centre wing. Well done, Tippett. Did a great job. Rowan on the up, can't quite.
Holding the ball, incorrect disposal.
So Boyd, only Brad Johnson's played in more finals. Nobody at the Bulldogs has played in more winning finals than Boyd. On centre wing. A down the line kick. To Grundy. Good, strong mark.
They're big marks, those ones. Contested marks down the line. If you can mark those, it really sets you up from half-back. They get a little breather now, a couple of stop plays.
So the veteran with a high kick towards the wing. Big pack at the drop. And that's a terrific mark in that pack by Roughhead. Hasn't he started well? He's seen things pretty well.
Dennis Mills is onto the ground for the first time. Let's see how he goes for that hamstring.
So Roughhead unloads again back towards the attacking 50. Laidler bundled out of it. Grundy kept his poise. McRae, Picken, Smith, McRae towards the middle. Got a good kick under the chest of Mills, just on the ground. Feeds Jack. Jack kicks it only as far as Biggs, who stopped it effectively, but applies a tackle. We'll get a ball up.
Let it go, let it go.
Played a couple of finals with these guys just when he's at Sydney.
Sorry to cut in, but Buddy Franklin is going down into the rooms from the dock. He's taking off his right boot.
Okay, well, that is some story already. So Biggs through that centre. Johannesson with that run. Kicks it wide. Dixon's a clever player. Can he reel it? And he can't. So Franklin down in the rooms, Richo.
Yeah, he came off. He started to take his right boot off on the bench. The doc said, no, come down to the rooms. We'll get it off down there. So an issue with his right foot.
Well, we talked about the start already. A little win for the Bulldogs, given the Swans start the last 2 weeks.
A good point, Duck. Their first 20 minutes this season has been spectacular. And what they've done to the Crows and then the Cats was just awesome, wasn't it?
Bontempelli has started well.
So Josh Kennedy's going with Bontempelli, not tagging, but at stoppages, 2 strong-bodied midfielders, Bontempelli and Kennedy.
Boyd knocked it down. Stringer's got it. That strength gets out of the tackle, lays it off. Now Johannesson about 65 metres out, delicately sets it up towards the pocket. Contest came from Roughhead, got it on the ground. Hanbury with class, ran into a dead end. Cordy was waiting for him. The unassuming Cordy. Gave nothing right there. Watch this.
Let it go.
Gee, that's a big tackle. Dan Hanbury's been on the receiving end of some big tackles on grand final, David. That's as good as I've seen.
Rough it over the top. Lloyd, is that still in play? Johannesson got a bad bounce. It's like bringing down a big butt, wasn't it? There's Hanbury.
Sydney kick. You grabbed his leg. You grabbed it.
Hard to argue with that. Remember that Hanbury mark 4 years ago in the final? The courage he showed against Hawthorn. It was a game changer in a way.
That was the only thing he could grab was the leg.
Yeah, and needed to, I think.
So Naismith again a down the line kick.
Punch comes from Hamling out wide. McRae on the bounce to Easton Wood. In trouble Heaney with Richards. McRae, can he find a way out? He usually does. That was brilliant. Gave it to Dalhouse to Hunter. Wonderful smother by Naismith, getting across over the boot, and it ricochets out of bounds.
Well, the tackling, the smothering, the pressure from both teams has been at an optimum level.
Naismith's had as many disposals now that he had in the match last week for the whole game, and he wasn't too bad last week. So a strong start by two ruckmen here from opposite teams. Jones, that was really clever, gives Lloyd the run. McGlynn, now no Franklin forward, as we know for the moment. Rowan got a bad bounce. Morris wraps him up, stops him from running away. Lloyd with an awkward looking kick to centre half. Oh, Jack with that courage.
Stay clear, stay clear.
That is one of the most unbelievable marks you'll see in a grand final.
He knew, Lingy, what was coming.
He knew, he saw what he had to do, and look at this. Oh, well done, Kieran Jack. Superb.
Well, he knew what was coming, and that's exactly what courage is. When you know the consequences and you still go through with the act. He looked around, he said, there's no one else to go for this footy. It's got to be mine, and he made it his own.
The big story down here is Franklin still hasn't reappeared from the doctor's room down the race.
Incredible. So Jack, who's kicked 2 goals in the last 2 grand finals he's played in, so he's been hitting the scoreboard in grand finals. This would be something after that mark. If he could dot this, hooking, and a behind. So Franklin's still in those rooms, and Jack gets the first score of the match, almost 10 minutes of footy.
That took a while, didn't it? Boyd to himself, runs to the pocket, drives it up towards the wing. Boyd to Boyd.
Well, that's better. Dropped the chest mark a few minutes ago. It's a good, strong mark.
And the Dogs are buoyed by seeing Tom Boyd take a mark like that. Not a kick like that, though. Grabbed by Lloyd. It's a bit confusing. Kicks inside the forward 50. It's going to be a free kick to the Bulldogs. Coming away as Boyd once more. Chips it up towards McLean. Juggled attempt at the mark. Arms were taken. He'll get a free kick.
Bulldogs, go through, Rowe. Go through.
McLean was very good in the pulsating last quarter last week, and now he gets 50. The X factor about McLean.
Jared McVeigh was confused there. He thought it was Jackson McRae's free kick. He threw it to McRae, but it had to go to McLean, so it just wasn't concentrating.
Hasn't this young man made the most of his opportunities? Ling Jong, injured a few weeks ago, gets an opportunity, and his fine start today.
McRae. Is it right half forward? A buzz around the ground. McRae deftly towards half forward, intended for Picken. Off hands though. Easy pickings there for Parker. Short ones to Heaney. Heaney's got it, defensive side of the wing. Franklin back at the interchange gates. Richo will have more. Here's Jones.
How does he look, Matty?
He's back on the ground and he wants the footy and he's going to get it.
Well, great to have you back, bud. Good kick too, beautiful kick. So, this young man's been a revelation, hasn't he? High ball, 2 full forward, Heaney in a back. Oh, what a mark, though. Heaney's so good himself, but Clay Smith takes a ripper and gets the ball wide to Hunter. He asks a lot. Jack, maybe in a scoring position, kicks to centre half forward. Oh, yes, Parker's got it. It's just ambitious by Smith after a great mark, wasn't it? It was always a 50-50 ball to Hunter. Turnover, Jack getting involved again.
Just a little bit of composure there from Kieran Jack, rather than just blazing away for the shot at goal. Hit up one of his teammates for an easier set shot. Smart play by the Swans skipper.
It's been very accurate in front of goal, Parker. 13-4 from set shots this year. He gets the first goal of the 2016 Grand Final. Well, I reckon the Dogs have had the best of it for most of it, but Sydney have got the 2 scores.
Yeah, the big 3 marks inside 50 now for Sydney, none to the Dogs. They've had a couple of opportunities, just haven't hit their targets going inside 50. And that's probably the difference between the 2 teams right now.
Runner-up in the Brownlow on Monday night. First goal in the Grand Final. It's a good week so far.
Got 2 of those votes back in round 15 against the Dogs. Back in the middle, Tippett has to wait. Boyd with a run, taps it down. Parker not finished yet. Gets boot to ball, kicks it towards half forward. Rowan a bit of a fumble. Boyd did well, so did Smith. Picking under the pump. Suddenly, the volume's been turned up by Sydney. And there is Kennedy. The ball slow to release.
Marcus Bontempelli's playing the deepest forward. Dane Rampy picking him up down the other end.
Bulldogs being tested just for the moment. Can they match the tempo?
Holding Parker over the arm.
Well, the umpire, Luke Parker, involved. That's 3 possessions, I think, in a row as he kicks it down towards the pocket. Franklin juggles the mark at the back. What's going the other way? No, it's not.
Well, I thought it might have, Dennis. There was a little bit of a push from Buddy Franklin. I'd like to have a look at whether or not he gave it a big shove in the back or not. Whether it was just a subtle use of the body, but big pack mark. Richo just mentioned he went down the race and got checked out. This would be a huge goal.
I think Buddy thought for a moment they were taking it off him. And he comes. Trying to work it back, not enough. Misses to the near side, so perhaps should have done better, but not always that reliable around goal. This season, though, pretty much.
So Sydney with all the scoring shots now. Layla very good. Belts it forward, almost like a kick. Boundary throw-in. Hey, Matty, without putting pressure on, what's the theory with Buddy? Have you got, is there any?
Well, the feeling down here from a couple of the medical people who work down on the boundary is that it probably was an ankle gone and he probably had it re-strapped, jab, whatever they do down there.
Moving well at the moment. Dalhouse first touch, couldn't get clear. Kennedy, the ball, puts the tackle on.
Okay, stand up.
Picken.
Right behind you, thanks.
Sydney have upped the ante, haven't they?
Absolutely, you were spot on, Dennis, a moment ago. The volume has been raised. They're pushing hard here, aren't they?
Push, Bulldogs. Let him go, Sid.
Buckley gets a free kick. Chance to settle, comes out wide, but Bulldogs don't play settled football. Dalhouse runs past. They're on the move. McLean's got it. Right half forward. 1-on-1 inside the forward 50. Sydney trying to get their numbers back. McLean to space. Oh, terrific effort by Mills. The youngster back in the team this afternoon, the rising star. One-hander. Goes across the ground. Rampy. In the opposite back pocket. A high ball to the wing and Rowan. Got the sit on Morris. Takes the mark. Good movement out of defence. Rowan wants 50. So do the supporters. Nothing doing. And then the sunshine. We've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Then goes down towards half forward. In front, juggled by Richard. Stolen away by Papley. Papley over the top to Hewitt. The youngster too slow, but then too strong. Hooks it down towards the pocket. Awkward bounce there for Parker. Parker ran into the pack. Daniel goes back behind. Knocks the ball across to Picken. Picken put down, but not before he knocked it to Hamling. Hamling towards the other side. Loose ball. Will it stay in? Jack! Can't keep it in. We'll have a throw-in. Banneridgeo.
So we've found the incident where we think Buddy Franklin has hurt his ankle. This marking contest here, as you watch Buddy come to ground, he lands on his teammate's foot there and rolls his ankle in. That's not good. When you roll them in, they can be pretty sore. But he is moving freely. They've got him going, but that's where he hurt it.
Kennedy can't get the hands free, unusual for him. G. Parker's been very good, handed a lot of the ball. Dalhouse Boyd gets it down that line again. Well done.
Cordy.
Yeah, Cordy did so well, didn't he? And now McLean back to Hunter. Hunter's little kick forward. Kennedy in the right spot. He was able to accelerate there and take the mark in front of Dunkley. And then switches wide. Richards. High one, slow one, difficult one to mark. Ball comes to ground. Oh, going to ground though, just at the wrong time. Boyd, he may get a second crack here. Biggs, can they break here, the Dogs? Short, good, Dixon.
Footy guards barracking there for the Bulldogs. Couple of things went their way. Dixon drives it down towards the pocket. Big Pat runs free at the back. Well done again by McLean, liking his game. Smith around the corner. Here's Cordy, got some goals last week. This one well wide, out of bounds in the opposite pocket on the full.
Oh, he had Lucky Hunter on then at the top of the goal square. Needed to have the composure and give by hand or short kick there. Blew a chance, Zane Cordy with the banana from the boundary.
Mitchell goes as far as he can. Good mark to Morris. Luke Beveridge's words are ringing in our ears. We've had chances early in matches of late and haven't taken them. They need to. Dalhouse. It has been the story of the final so far, hasn't it?
Yep, this is where they've struggled, the Doggies. We know Sydney are the best defence in the competition. Just struggled to find a target. Sydney have got the numbers back now, but Cordy, it's classic case of ambitions mixed up with capabilities.
So Dalhouse kicks to the goal square. Naismith unopposed. That's a disappointing result for the Dogs and a great one for the Swans.
You love that from your ruckman. Stand strong under a high ball in your defence. One grab mark.
Grundy out of the back pocket then. Drives along one short of the wing. Wood got a hand to it close to the boundary. Knocks it across. We'll have a boundary throw in. Third grand final captain for the Bulldogs in their history, Easton Wood. Both these parents outstanding athletes, as the Americans would say. He started on third base.
He's kept going, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The homer today would be so good. Dunkley's kicked to full forward, Cordy, and again Grundy. So marks in the back 50 have been impressive for the Swans.
Dominated Sydney.
But don't get through there, gone. Cordy getting involved left, right and centre here.
1 metre! 1 more metre!
A couple of the youngsters there, a couple of 19-year-olds in the tackle, one on the other.
He's got plenty of room out to his right if he wants it.
He uses a duck and brings it back brilliantly. What a goal! Well, he and Lockie Hunter are feeling a whole lot better right now.
He owed him that.
He did.
Owed him that one.
He did.
Yeah, needed to go to the top of the square before, but that's a terrific tackle. They're tackling, both teams tackling Lee have just been on.
They are just tackling for keeps, aren't they? There's not too many broken tackles.
And it's sort of a nothing type play for Sydney too. There wasn't a lot gained anyway.
Well, there's the celebration. He knew that he owed them one after not going to the top of the square to Lockie Hunter. That's a massive goal. They needed to put some scoreboard pressure back on the Swans.
It's taken a while. It's their first score in a grand final since 1961. Naismith doing okay. Knocked it down. Spills wide. McLean goes after it. Went to ground a little too easily. Kennedy under duress. Bontempelli and Smith over the top, and we'll get a ball up. Margin is 2 points, approaching quarter time. What a shot that is. Naismith again. First touch. Johannesson taken down. Dalhouse misses the target. McLean back into the congestion. Kennedy. Hurried kick inside the forward 50. Wood committed to the pack and thumped it away. Taken by Boyd. Knew where the help was. Johannesson. Now Dalhouse. Dalhouse whistle. Heard the umpire. So the Bulldogs to get a free kick on the wing. Cordy again. He's bobbing up everywhere.
Jason, that was for you.
Heard the explanation. Liberatore. He's going to spread it. Liberatore dangerous. Heaney a chance here. Oh, well done, Wood. Used his courage and a brilliant kick by Hunter to Dixon.
That's a big risk to go through the corridor, Lingy, but high risk, high reward. The game opens up and they're able to hit a target inside 50.
They just don't stop taking those risks. That's what we've loved about them this final series, and that is a beautiful kick by Lockie Hunter onto the lead of Tory Dixon. Defender's got no chance there. Now, we said how good a set shot he was a couple of weeks ago. He shanked his first one. I wonder if the nerves have calmed down a little bit and he hits this sweet.
He's got a great record in finals, though. He averages 3 goals in every final he's played. It's a good kick. It's a very good kick. How long since they've been in front of the grand final, I wonder? Well, this has been a massive couple of minutes because Sydney were 1 goal away from just making it uncomfortable, weren't they?
And if you head into a quarter-time break with 0 goals on the board, or maybe even just the one,
the Dockers did that a couple of years ago, didn't they?
A little bit, yep.
Well, we talked about at the start how important it was and massive for the Bulldogs.
What's only? Straight back, yep.
And this is that ball. Eastonwood, look at that, came off his man. New Buddy was 1 out. That's a massive spoil. And that's brilliant there. Contest, high risk, high reward. Through the corridor, made the contest, set up that goal.
Bulldogs by 4 points then. Roughhead on the way down. Liberatore, Bontempelli, chopped off by Hanbury. Loose ball, comes across towards Dixon. He went to ground. Bontempelli goes after this one. The opposite number 4 in the opposite direction. Hanbury, Bontempelli on his knees trying to get out of there and he can't.
This has been a huge couple of minutes for the Bulldogs. The last 2 weeks, the game's been over for Sydney opponents. They've blown them away in the first quarter. The Dogs with the lead, massive.
Jack with a hard ball, gave it to Kennedy. Short one towards half forward and Tippett. Tippett on the line of the square.
Wants to get to Franklin. Buddy there didn't look as if he was moving quite as well. He's still in the contest though. Jones kicks the 4-4. Good kick, Rowan. Couldn't quite. Oh, brilliant Morris in the front.
Bulldogs.
He's been doing that for a few years, hasn't he?
Had to stand strong under that one. Oh, well done, Dale Morris. The free kick's there. Dragged the arm down. He's a bit sore from it. Gee, that would give his teammates a lift up.
Just didn't think Franklin looked great a minute ago anyway. See a quarter time. Kick to the wing. Picken kept it in. Boundary throw in now.
Dale Morris, just the 1 Brownlow vote in his career. Makes an ass of the Brownlow, doesn't it, really?
It does, and he'd love it. Premiership today to match that one, wouldn't he?
Yes. McRae was in there, got a hand to it, eventually slapped out wide. Smith goes with Jones. Pretty mundane, really. Just missing a Brown. We'll have a throw in on the wing. What a game so far. Living up to the hype and the expectations. The MCG packed. October 1. McRae, Picken, wonderful stuff, wonderful understanding. And McRae, now a half volley, Stringer went to ground. McRae follows up, Dalehouse put their head down, tries to give it to Liberatore. Wide to Picken, 55 metres out, heard the umpire. Trying to destroy that one was Rowan. Taken in the pack by Jack. Down he went. Comes back to Rowan. Looks a hand pass over the top. Parker run down by Morris. Just the 1 Brownlow vote. Kick comes in from Boyd. Now it's Laidlaw.
So Laidlaw with a careful kick, but he doesn't quite get Papley. It's been missed a few times. Papley. Woods played some sort of an opening term. That's not a great handball. Dixon held up. Good tackle, McGlynn. Sydney and Hart. What are your eyes telling you? Who's cracking in hardest of the two of them? Is there anything between them or not?
Oh, right now, you just think the Bulldogs just have the edge in and around the stoppages, just starting to win a bit more of the footy, and they're putting Sydney under enormous pressure. They've got no time and space, the Swans.
No, they're doing it well, but can't split them for me yet, Bruce. I think both teams' pressure is outstanding. Both teams' ability to put their heads over the footy and win the contested ball. The second quarter, they'll settle down with their composure, and that will tell us.
Heaney's kick has drifted and drifted, and the Dogs will kick it back in.
I reckon when the ball hits the ground, though, a loose ball, the Bulldogs are getting more numbers over to those loose balls. They look really dangerous when it's bobbling around in space.
Bontempelli with the right peg, if you don't mind. Down towards half forward. Is that a push? Apparently not. Roughhead took the mark, plays on immediately, wheeling around, vacant goal scorer apart from Rampy, who gets back. Takes the mark, Mills comes away. Kicks towards the wing and McGlynn. That's a good mark by him, but not much to go to. Now running hard is Jack. Wonderful hard running. Ball in front of him. Bit of a fumble. Carries it down towards the 50. Buddy Franklin on the move. Lets it bounce. Tries a manoeuvre. And he's pushed across the line by Hamling. We'll get a boundary throw in.
Well, that's a big win there for Hamling. Didn't overcommit in the tackle. Stood off, waited, and then was able to put him out of bounds.
He knew he had the boundary line as his friend, didn't he? Could not get stepped inside.
Boyd and Tippett. Hanbury working for it on Morris again. Releases Johannesson. And that ball bouncing out for a boundary throw in. Boyd over the top. Stringer, Franklin, Jack, Kennedy, Siren. What an opening term. So Parker got the first, but the Dogs got the next two. And at quarter time, it's the Western Bulldogs by 4 points over the Sydney Swans.
To start the second term, Sydney got the first goal, the Bulldogs the next two, and that's where we stand as we start the second term. The grand final at the MCG. Hopefully, it's as good as the first. Both ruckmen have been very handy. Naismith, fingertips to it. Roughhead went back after it. Kennedy, 10 possessions now. Biggs trying to force a passage. Well done by Smith. Plucked it away from Jack. Down went Dunkley. Parker out of there. Smith wrenched away by Stringer. Back comes Liberatore. That's a hard football to win. Down goes Mitchell and a whistle.
What about that?
Wow, stick your head in that. You've got to stand pressure.
Nothing's changed from the opening term. That's how the match started, hasn't it? So Liberatore does stick his head in and gets it out to centre-half forward. Rampion, Mills, McRae having a wonderful final series and a brilliant start to this match. Well done by Stringer, Smith, Hanbury. That was brilliant. Rampy, talking about having big final series and big seasons. Heaney and Morris. Morris has had a good start to the match. Jones, he couldn't quite corral him. Used Heaney cleverly. They got it to Mitchell. That's very good play by the Swans. Mitchell pushed as he kicked. And the turnover. And Johannesson had more of the ball than anybody in the opening term. Takes the mark.
That was great from Hunter. Just stayed in the contest, was able to get a hand in just to put pressure on.
Johannesson drives it down towards half forward, then Grundy got his hands to it. Lloyd, hit by Dunkley, spills to Smith. His hand pass goes out of bounds.
Not too many easy balls out there.
Haven't seen one. Margin 4 points, Bulldogs on top. Ruckman lock up, Roughhead directs it this time. Liberatore hard in and under, got a hand pass away. Daniel, almost his first possession there, dragged down right on the numbers by McVeigh. The umpire will do it again.
There hasn't been one clean transition in that whole first quarter from the defensive 50 to forward 50 from either team, and both teams do it well.
Good stuff, Lloyd. McLean, Bontempelli, brilliant sidestep, kick to full forward. Boyd's got it. Well, he just created Bontempelli there, didn't he?
How good was Liberatore in that back?
Well, he was just able to find a little bit of space, Bontempelli, when there was none.
So how does Boyd work his way through this?
Looks like he's going to run around on the left.
And run around the left, he does, and nails it. Well, Cordy at one end, Boyd at the other. Two youngsters. Long way to go. They're good signs.
Yeah, they are low percentage kicks, I guess, and they've both nailed them. Cleverly thought, though. That's exactly what the 10-metre rule came in for. So it gives you room to run around on your opposite side or your preferred side and open the goal face up.
And Libber and Bontempelli, eh?
Well, good players just create things. Created time for himself there, Bontempelli. Good use of the body by Tom Boyd, but this is well thought out. Stayed calm in the moment, on the left foot, and he loved it. It's repaying his footy club. It got him here from GWS. Big moment for him.
No, the ruckman did much. Hanbury. Naismith goes again. Hanbury a hand pass, but straight to Hunter, who miscues. Kennedy got the arms free. Eventually, that's a brilliant tackle. Umpire let him have it a long time. Bontempelli, who applied that brilliant tackle, goes then and boxes the football. Indignant he didn't get the free kick. We'll get a ball up. Should have.
He's Kennedy doesn't know what's going. Gets tackled once and shrugs that one, and then another one, and another one. They're just everywhere, the Dogs.
Bontempelli up high that time in the role of a ruckman. Pickin, miss Biggs, taken by Heaney, well done. Slips a hand pass away to Jones. That's a clever kick. Will it get there in time? It does to Jack. Within scoring range. He's directly in front, man on the mark is 40 metres out. Jack, the co-captain. Best thing to do here, perhaps, is kick a goal.
Absolutely, Dan. Did the right thing, got back off the mark quick, but now you've got to go back and kick the goal.
In he comes. Kieran Jack, never on line, wide left. And the margin, well, it's narrow, but not as he would have liked.
And they've missed a couple, haven't they? I mean, Jack's missed two, and Franklin missed one as well.
He's missed one to the right and one to the left now, Jack.
Boyd just to himself. Oh, great smother across him, Rowan. And then Boyd in trouble. High tackle. Some pressure released.
Mark's here. Lance! Mark's here, please.
Great stuff by Rowan. He's talked so much this week about his disappointment personally from 2 years ago, where he felt like he had no contribution, 2 disposals only in the first 3 quarters.
Boyd, a high one then. Off hands, Hanbury, Kennedy, Jack. Now Smith, centre away on his left foot. In the back pocket, the defender kick a goal. He can. Straight through the middle, if you don't mind.
Well, if everybody else is missing, just let the backman do it. Nick Smith, first goal for the season. Lovely finish, good. Creative handballs led up to that one.
The strength of Kennedy again in and around the stoppage. Just stood up in the tackle and was able to offload the footy.
Hasn't kicked a goal for 3 years. Smith.
Good time to kick it, and it was on the back of a chain of handballs. Really sharp quality hands out of the stoppage from the Swans, and that is a big goal just to bring them back a little bit. The Dogs had the momentum.
Gee, Boyd doing it all in the ruck there, getting right over the top.
That was well battled, I understand. Straight back, hold the meter.
Tippett just wins it. Jack, Mitchell, and Mitchell on his favourite left side. Good mark though by Roberts. It's great to read about him this week when Luke Beveridge said you're playing. He texted a couple of mates and said I'll be in the team. He kicks to centre wing, gets over the back. Cordy, who had a big input in that opening term. Tippett's tackle was good. Liberatore fished it out. Jones impressive, sidesteps. Eastonwood caught underneath, may get a crack at it, didn't quite. Biggs was good. Back to Morris, they build.
There's Boyd. Slips it away to his skipper. Wood goes short to Dunkley. What a good young player. Just fitted in from the get-go. Towards half forward.
First touch for Caleb Daniel.
Yeah, one of 2 loose men. Good sign. Goes out wide. Here's Hunter. So much of the football normally. Centering ball. Big leap by Dixon. Didn't touch the footy though. Pinballing around in there. Dalhouse had a chance to get it out. Didn't. Smith got it. And immediately claimed by Hewitt. Will get a ball up.
Important for Caleb Daniel to get that touch. It starts playing with your head a little bit if you haven't felt that footy in your hands. So he can settle himself into the game now.
Tippett got over the top of Boyd. Heaney hacks it out as far as he can. Richardson, Roberts. Not a lot of experience between them. Richards shows a clean pair of heels. Kicks the ball to a vacant space. Big should get the bounce. He does. He ran hard. Careful, comfortable kick to Boyd.
Ben, thank you.
All-Australian, 34 years of age, oldest player out there. What a season, what a career. He's getting midfield numbers at full back. It's a good kick too. And suddenly, Roberts getting a lot of it early in the second term.
That's a very good kick between two Swans onto the chest of Easton Wood. Trying to go now. Another high one to half forward. Tippett got a hand to it, knocked it down to Heaney. Well played. Back to Rampy. The pressure comes. Gives a hand pass off. Low down. Kennedy having a fine game. Mitchell. Hanbury. Brilliant. Heaney. Good tackle came from Cordy. Affected the hand pass. As a result, Dalhouse drives it in. Plenty of space on the forward line. Almost a wonderful mark down there. Not paid to Grundy. Grabbed by Dixon. Dixon snapped the beauty. He's got his second. I think he's got a point, Grundy. Feeling hard done by. Very close to a mark.
Did everything but, didn't he, Jenna? It was a close call, a hard call, but he'll feel aggrieved. And Dixon, big match last week. Big start here.
Rucks only.
Wasn't a mark. Heath Grundy did it all. Tried to take it one-handed, but it probably did come out right at the end there. Didn't have full control. Great snap by Tory Dixon. So we're just wondering moments like that. Heath Grundy, can you go two hands there? Maybe I'm asking too much of him.
Liberatore, Dalehouse, two of the stars for the Dogs so far. Cordy launches himself. Dunkley, kick to half forward. Smith, that's a wonderful mark. What about Dixon? He's played in 5 finals now and he's kicked 14 goals. He can hit the scoreboard. Grundy, Rampy. Haven't seen much from Rampy so far. Mills, second time. That's a scoop back by Hunter. Liberatore, this is a chance. It's... Oh, Lloyd got back. So have a look at this one. Happy with that?
Yep. There's Mitchell at centre-half back. Liberatore having a game up to 11 possessions. Ball to the outer side. You bet your boots. Nothing easy. Boyd finds McRae. Momentum building for the red, white and blue. Dunkley's got the football. Too far out to score. Roughhead is deep. Will he go in that direction? He does. Roughhead will fly. Thump towards the back in goal square. Picken with a chance. Runs onto the loose ball. Feeds it back. Hunter. Back to Picken. Snaps across his body. Don't tell me. Things falling into place for the Bulldogs.
Gee, what a final series Pickens had. What a final series this club has had. Their ability to handball above their head is remarkable.
Unbelievable.
It's going to change the game forever, I reckon. We're seeing the blueprint to a new style of football.
Well, they've told everyone they've got this handball club. They practice all types of handballs, and that's one of them. That was absolutely superb. And have a look at this. Hunter over the head. They practice those handballs all week. They've got a club called the Handball Club. They are absolutely brilliant. Best handball team in the game.
I'll tell you what, Sydney defenders are going to have to mark the ball because when it hits the ground down there in that forward 50, they hunt it better than anyone.
Right on top for the minute. They've kicked 5 of the last 6. And a wounded Franklin at the other end. Parker had a big opening turn, but he's taken down. Jack did all right. Naismith belts it forward. Can Buddy launch? He comes in late. Well done, Hamling. Hanbury, good side for him if he gets the right bounce. Back to Hewitt, who's been quiet. Kicks good, though, to Mitchell. Calmed down. But this is the Jack territory. It might be just beyond him, I reckon.
Yeah, I think that's out of his range. He wants to pass it off. He's going to have to go back and have a shot now. Tom Mitchell, but gee, this is important. The Bulldogs have got all the momentum right now. They're swarming all over them.
So Mitchell right on 50. Geez, kicked it well. He's kicked it beautifully.
Take back what I said, Morris. That was a beautiful kick.
And Lingy, I reckon, I know that says as much about temperament as technique, I reckon. Yep. to go back and take responsibility and then to be able to deliver.
I looked at the body language of Buddy. Buddy straight away said, have a shot. So Buddy knew he had the distance in him.
They're just hanging on. I know it's ridiculous to say, but they need everything they can get right now, don't they?
What a kick by Tom Mitchell. I didn't think he had the distance, but he nailed it beautifully. The leading possession winners on the field, Kennedy and Jack, but then a string of Bulldogs players. That was an important goal. The momentum was all pointing towards the Dogs.
The lead by 10. Roughhead knocked it down. Naismith could have been taken high. Roughhead kept going. Was that in the back? Not according to the umpire. Ball up. Unforgiving, these centre square situations for both teams. Nothing easy. You pay a price to get a possession. Tossed up. Roughhead. Naismith perhaps won it. Bontempelli had it momentarily. Through the legs there by Hanbury. Down goes Dalhouse. Heaney got him.
Thank you. Thanks,
By Jeffrey. Darts across. Some players envious of their teammates. Fact of life. Jones sends it down towards half forward into the shadows. Roberts goes back on his knees. Papley does well. Didn't have the football, Papley. He wins a free kick just outside the 50. So Sydney now starting to flex some muscle.
Almost a professional free, that one.
Short. Well, that's asking a lot of Franklin. Braced himself for contact. Wood didn't step aside. Hanbury goes hard on Wood and took him down. That's in the highlight reel, all of that. The first one from Franklin. And then his teammate Hanbury.
The kick in was just a little bit too buddy conscious, though. He had two players on him, but when he took it, he just wanted to hit Easton Wood.
Parker gets it forward. Touch play on Rowan. Rowan hasn't heard it. No one's heard it. Now he hears it and goes back and kicks the goal. After all of that, and the Dogs didn't tackle him.
That's how loud it is.
That's unbelievable. I've never seen that before. Players stand there for so long and the umpire yelling, play on, play on, play on.
And a high five in amongst it.
No one.
The roar down here, though, is unbelievable. I've never been at a grand final and witnessed such noise.
Play on, Gary! Play on! Play on!
That
Get the high five and away you go.
That is how loud it is, though. No player heard that.
Dogs by 4 points then. Wide of the pack, it's taken by Jack. Hurriedly down towards half forward. Biggs up, couldn't complete the mark. On the way down, Papley on the bounce to Kennedy, who's been marvellous. Kicks it inside the forward 50 and Hamlin. Backed his judgment. Come up to take the mark. They like to run it. Johannesson comes out wide to a one-on-one. This will be interesting. Dixon leads back in the race. Has the ball close to the boundary line. Goes with his left foot. And another left footer comes up and takes the mark. Well, he is a natural left footer, this one. Rampy drives it back inside the forward 50. They're conscious of Buddy down there. They blocked him. Crumbing it was Roughhead. He was taken down immediately. Trying to get it out. Mitchell did pretty well. Kennedy's kick was blanketed. Goes to Papley. Papley fumbled. Quick thinking enough to get boot to ball, but it runs out of bounds in the pocket.
Richo, how's Franklin moving, do you reckon? Can he be a factor in this match?
Sorry, Bruce, I can't hear it loud. What did you say there?
Is Buddy moving well enough to be a factor in the match?
Well, not at this stage. He's definitely concerned by it.
Hewitt can't break it. Dogs hold it up, but this has been a really good 5 minutes for the Swans.
He hasn't had any separation off his opponent this quarter, that is for sure.
He's labouring. It's just whether he can use that mind of his to find a goal. Heaney, here he is now. The fend off, Jack, Kennedy, good kick, great kick. They're in front. They're back in front.
How good have they been, those team leaders, those on-ballers? They've willed themselves.
Absolutely. And to Franklin's credit, a couple of fend-me-offs have helped, haven't they, in that forward 50? He hasn't been able to break the line himself, but he's been able to release the footy.
What the buddy fend-off does, it draws tacklers to him, which leaves players free on the outside. It was Josh Kennedy on this occasion. Fantastic finish. G's been good. 17 disposals, Josh Kennedy. That's his first goal. That is a big first half of footy.
Bounce over the head of Boyd, taken by Kennedy. There he is again. A bull. Naismith across to Mitchell. He's been important too, Mitchell. Down towards half forward. Off hands, plenty of Swans around the footy. Heady left it behind. Liberatore trying to lift. In there is Smith as well. Hand pass comes from Parker to Rowan. Nobody at home except Hamling. Didn't want him, the Swans. Johannesson. The big lead was 16 points. 3 unanswered goals so far for the Swans, though. They've got the last 3 and they're looking on top at least for the moment. Grundy goes out wide. This is Mitchell again. Dangerous. Measures the kick. Heaney starting to feel it as well. 60 metres out from goal. Going back is Rowan towards the goal square. Well, he was going to have the run at that, then he slipped over the top. Dixon falls to Kennedy. Kennedy again! Oh, how about that? They've taken it upon themselves, those guys around the packs for Sydney, to get on top and get their team on top as well. That's remarkable.
Well, it was Kennedy that won the handball, stood up in the tackle in the middle of the ground at that centre clearance, and then he's on the end of that. He has been everywhere, Kennedy.
They need a Cameron Ling right now, the Western Bulldogs. He's had 19 disposals, he's kicked 2 goals, and he single-handedly brought them right back into this game.
We are witnessing one of the all-time great midfield performances in a half of a grand final. 19 disposals by Josh Kennedy, 2 goals. He has ripped this game back in the Swans' favour.
Well, what he did a fortnight again at the Crows was amazing today. Even a notch-up boy, twists and turns. Well done to Pickett. What a first half we're seeing. Johannesson with a run and carry. And not a good delivery. And good mark taken by Grundy. He's catching it well today, isn't he? Short to Hanbury.
Stay out. Just with me.
As Dennis said, the leaders of the Swans, that midfield pack, that rat pack of theirs, have really turned it around here. Here's one of them, Mitchell, just misses Hewitt. Back to Johannesson. He's been prolific. McRae very, very good early. Haven't called Stringer's name too often. Does he get enough on it? He doesn't. And that's a waste. Needed to just bring it back, didn't he?
You haven't called it very often because he's playing on Dane Rampy, one of the best defenders in the game for most of this first half. Dane Rampy's had 7, only the 2 for Stringer.
Stringer's got to find a way to be effective, though, from now. You can't have a bad one, a really bad one.
Tippett marks the McVeigh kick. Sydney now looking irresistible. Hanbury runs the outer side. Papley drives it down towards half forward, reaching back. Biggs does very well. Biggs in the number 24, worn by one of the Bulldogs' greatest bigs, Gary Dempsey. He'll be looking on this afternoon, willing his team on. Wood to Biggs again, drives it short at the wing. Jones, he tried to pull out of it late, but Bontempelli gets the free kick. Bontempelli towards the middle. Liberatore so influential early in this term to set up that 16-point lead. The little fella goes across the ground. That is a very dangerous kick. Sometimes you've got to consider who's there. Well, Johannesson was there. Have they played it? Johannesson took the mark over Hanbury. Sometimes you kick it where the opposition have a good player. It doesn't have good results. Lloyd marks the Johannesson kick. The coach not happy with all of that. Lloyd settles things down in the back pocket.
Had a lot of the ball, Johannesson, but his kicking efficiency not great so far today.
And it's exactly that for the Western Bulldogs at the moment. Their efficiency, their composure with ball in hand, just hurting them.
So McVeigh, bit of a floater in the end. Hamling took a chance, did well. Daniel's been quiet. Kennedy anything but he's over 20 now. Hewitt working his way through. Took a long time. Daniel's tackle effective. Bouncing ball. And the Pickens sees it roll over. It wasn't that long ago that Pickens kicked their 5th goal. And it looked all doggies, didn't it? But what a turnaround it's been.
But Bruce, they need to get Marcus Bontempelli into the game as well. He's only had 6 and 2 this quarter, hasn't had a clearance, and we know what Kennedy's doing for the opposition.
Tippett tapped it down. As if on cue, Bontempelli. Johannesson behind the pack. Towards half forward. Going back is Rampy. Over the top, Grundy. He's had a fine season, Grundy. He's having a fine match.
Yeah, Grundy and Rampy really dominating the air for the Sydney defenders.
Short of the wing. Parker tries to touch it. I don't think he did. Out of bounds on the full. Smith got 4 goals last week. Prons it back infield. Bontempelli touched the ground, so play on's the call. He drives it towards half forward. Dunkley was up, knocked away by Laidler. Liberatore knocked it back inside the 50. McVeigh had other ideas. You see his bald head under there. That's not the Sheriff. He'll get a ball up right on the 50.
They just can't bomb the ball in, the Bulldogs. If they do that, Grundy's marking everything, as is Rampy.
Boyd getting a tap away. Mitchell's hands. Parker, that's a great tackle by Picken. Got him down. McRae, Dixon, very clever Dixon running backwards. Stringer, can he keep the ball in play? No, he doesn't. That was a more difficult one than the previous. And the Swans again. Well, the Dogs are dying for a goal before half-time. I know it's just 8 points, but the last 4 goals of this first half have been Swannies.
Yep, they need a goal, Bruce. Here's Mitchell, who's been very good out of the back pocket. Morris in front. Well, too many of them there. Morris goes again. McRae in the opposite direction. Ball rolls out. Liberatore knows one way, and that's under the pack. And there he is with Hanbury over the top.
1 metre, guys. Well battled. Thanks.
Look at those numbers for Josh Kennedy. 20 disposals in half a footy in a grand final. Brilliant.
Mitchell is up to 13. Here's Jones out of the congestion. Hamling leads Franklin, but he is bearing down. Did he take him high? Well, play on's the call. It's in there somewhere. Franklin perhaps could have been rewarded with a free kick. Nothing doing. Out the back, Hanbury off balance. Mitchell does a full circle. Comes back to Hanbury. Hanbury close to the boundary line. Papley. Hanbury again, fattening his stats. Kicks it down towards half forward. And the mark is taken by Daniel. They're under pressure now, the Dogs. Daniel, Johannesson. Now they can work it out. Here's Wood.
The skipper is going to go over the top. He works to Hunter. They've got it to Dixon. They probably get it out to Dunkley. Still pressure. Had to kick in a hurry. Do they keep it in? They do. And Smith's kick's pretty good. Down the line. Bontempelli lifting a little. Richo talked about it. He's got options everywhere here. It's a good kick.
Good was that across half back.
Yeah, they held their nerve on this wing, didn't they?
Once again, their handball.
Within a whisker of perhaps getting the ball turned over. Eventually got it down. Good, strong grab by Boyd. You've got to stand under those still. I know that looks simple, but you know that somebody's coming. Just had to stand there, absorb it. This is a big kick. Every kick today is a big kick.
So Bontempelli to Boyd for the second time today. The first one resulted in a spectacular goal. He gets his second. It's within a kick again.
And the fairy tale continues. The $1 million man, and suddenly he's looming as a very important factor in this game, isn't he?
Absolutely. And his final series, I mean, there's just so much respect for him. And Richo mentioned Bontempelli a moment ago. Well, he's had 3 disposals since that, and the good, he's had 7 kicks in this opening term. So he's building here. Opening half, I should say, yeah.
He's a motivator, is Richo.
This kick here is absolutely brilliant. I thought he was taking a little bit too long. Made sure he got far enough off the mark and then hit it hard and low. Had to get there quickly, and it did. Brilliant kick.
Swans lead it by 2 points then. Close to half-time in the grand final. Up high, Naismith knocks it forward. Kennedy, quick hands. Jack surging out of the middle of Swans now. Franklin in the vicinity. Tippett got his hands to it. Hamling goes after the football. Trying to soccer it off the ground. Franklin. No gap there for Morris. They were waiting for him. Ball up.
I reckon Buddy and Tippett have gone for the same ball a few times inside that forward 50. I just reckon they need to get a little bit more separation, get one-on-one.
Richie Naismith was good there. Jack couldn't quite, but Mitchell can. Yes, he can. There are twos everywhere in this first half. He's got a couple. Kennedy's got a couple. Boyd's got a couple. Dixon's got a couple. And how many's he got all up, Dennis?
15. Most of them have really counted.
Mitchell's had 14 this quarter, boys, and again, a feature of the Sydney Swans play. They've been able to kick goals or get goals from their midfielders, and that's been something that they've been able to do all year. And again, it's been a huge factor in this first half.
Tim?
14 possessions in this term for Mitchell.
And 70 disposals between Kennedy, Hanbury, Jack and Mitchell. 4 goals as well. That's that star-studded midfield we spoke so much about before the game.
So Kennedy again to full forward. Belted away by Hamlin. Hunter on the up. Wood. Little kick wide. Stringer. Quiet first half. He's lacking in confidence. Even that there. And Mills cuts it off. Thinking of Kennedy, we talk about 1961. The last time they were in a grand final, it was his grandfather who coached against them that day. I mean, funny thing, footy.
Boundary throw in. Boyd decisively. Bontempelli couldn't carry the ball. Daniel did though. Dalhouse feeds it back behind. Matthew Boyd. Dalhouse hemmed in against the boundary. Just jabs it forward. Barely the 15. McGlynn's taken the mark. So McGlynn looks deep. Just over a minute remaining. Very important time in the game. Mitchell, another possession. 15 for the quarter. Oh, terrific. Hamlin moments ago was at half back. He's dashed back, conscious of Franklin, and in the process has taken the mark. Matthew Boyd having a good game. Biggs close to the boundary. Not a particularly good kick. In front, Grundy came to meet the footy. Heath Grundy has seen it all. What a fine player he's been. Drives it inside the 50. Missed by Kennedy, almost the one-handed mark. Dragged down. Weight of numbers told the story there. Parker had it momentarily. Dalhouse went in hard. Socket off the ground by Hunter. Wide of the pack, Cordy. He was taken down. Jack over the top now. Bulldogs are getting a free kick there. I think it'll be Toby McLean in that pack. But now, as you'd expect, with less than a minute to go, Sydney are swamping back.
That's a big call. That's that prohibitive contact below the knees that could go the other way, but Toby McLean will get the free kick. You could argue that one to the cows come home, Duck, which way it should be paid.
And gets 52 and then kicks to full forward. Rampy over the back. McVeigh taken down. McVeigh just taps it away. Heaney's been very, very good. Dalhouse as well. It's been a wonderful opening half of football. So many contributors on both sides. More Sydney side now than Dogs, but it was the Dogs early in this term that made the running. Boyd getting through. Stringer. That's a better kick. Oh, Mills couldn't quite. Tap, 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 tap. McLean hooking. Oh, yes. That is the cream on what has been a beautiful first half cake. This has been as good a first half of footy you've ever seen, I reckon, in a grand final. And that just tops it off.
Oh, brilliant finish here. Clean, one step. You don't get too many chances like that. You've got to nail them, and Toby McLean certainly did that.
Well, they just haven't got too many balls in there quick enough where they sort of got a two or a 3-on-3, and the ball gets in there quickly. When it's been a slow movement and a high ball in, Sydney have dominated. That was completely different there, Lingy. The Sydney defenders all of a sudden started to panic a little.
11 seconds remaining in the second term. The margin is 2 points. Half that's had everything. Naismith taps it down. Boyd goes after it. Liberatore's got it, but not the first time. Goes again. The siren, after all this effort, might beat them all. Biggs. There it is at half-time. I have to say, this game is simmering as one of the great grand finals. The ingredients are in the mix. just need a close finish. Richo is going out to grab one of the stars of the first half. What a terrific game it's been so far. The Sydney Swans 7-3-45. The Western Bulldogs is 7-1-43. And that man has been quite outstanding. 22 possessions to half-time in a grand final. He averaged 25 in his previous grand finals coming in. Let's go down to Richo.
Well, Kieran, you'd be frustrated with that last goal, but it was a good turnaround from halfway through that second quarter.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the boys bounced back. Should have even the numbers up around the ball. We can do that. Can put some heat on them in their forward line.
You'd be very happy. Midfield goals, 4 out of Mitchell and Kennedy.
Yeah, good start from them. Hopefully they can do it again in the second half.
Okay, thanks, Kieran.
Good stuff, Richo. Matthew Boyd there with the doggies. It's a 2-point game at half-time. What a first half. Back with the second half of the grand final.
Unrelenting this game so far. We probably expected that coming in. Second half though. Naismith and Roughhead, as they've done all day, go to battle again. Naismith hooks it down behind. Parker a tumble. Can't dig it out of there. Whistle.
Stand up. Stand up. Stay behind me.
Liberatore so often today at the base of the packs. In from the side, Bonapelli knocked it down. Kennedy again imposing himself. Now that's 23 possessions. Now towards half forward. Tippett comes up. Gathers the bouncing ball. Here's Heaney.
Heaney's kick inside the forward 50. Morris fine mark. Uses his old mate in Boyd. The old firm. Gets it wide. Asks a bit of rough head. Those two ruckmen go together. Joe Hennison. Couple of speedsters. Rowan with him to run him down. Kicks to a 50-50. Good mark by Rampy against quality opposition.
And that's what they can't have in the second half, the Dogs. When they bring it to ground in their forward half, they get the ball on the ground. But if Rampy and Grundy keep taking intercept marks, then that play makes the Swans look like winning the game.
Jones goes back to Rampy. And they get it back to Smith, to McVeigh. And they get it out. So Lloyd now with a chance to create something here now. He can go over the top. And he does, in good hands with Heaney. He's had a fine match.
Oh, Lockie!
Slows it for a minute. So the Swans take some pace out of the game. He kicks the ball to Tippett. He's got it. He just shoved them out of the way.
Oh, Fletcher! Where you are is really good.
And that's a great sign for the Swans. He's got to stand up and take those sorts of marks. Caught one in the head. We know he's had that fractured jaw, but stood strong, took the grab for his own confidence. A poor first half from Kurt Tippett for his own confidence. Needs to go back and nail this one.
It's a big kick in many ways, isn't it? And not quite coming back. So the Swans increase their lead to 3 points.
Johannesson to bring it in then. His kicking hasn't been great, but his finding the football has been exceptional. That's a good kick. McLean, who started very well, has this ball at right half back, looking up towards the wing. On the move is Boyd. Strong hands by the big fella. That's a great sign. Grundy couldn't knock it loose. Boyd has kicked a couple from the wing to half forward. Smith eyes only for the ball. Knocked over by his own teammate. McLean gave it to Dixon. Wider to Daniel. Kicks into the oncoming McVeigh. And it ricochets out of bounds.
It's been a great recovery, McVeigh. Calf injury kept him out last week. Mills back from a hammy the week before that again, from the first week of the finals. Naismith, rough head, Liberatore digging it out. McVeigh with courage. Kennedy, it spills out. McRae, high tackle, no free G did well there, McVeigh. Franklin had a rare fumble, but wraps him up and the ball up. So Buddy up the ground here, no goals, lots of tackles, some influence. He's had the ankle injury. Had a long talk to John Longmire on the runes before they came back out. That's a great smother by Libber. McLean taken high.
It's 50.
That's
a high contact.
His lip has been big in the last minute or so. Not in possessions, but just his will on the footy. That's a great smother.
And Quick give to Hamling. Hamling doesn't quite get enough on it to fall forward. Ball's not out. McRae goes back, and Dixon kicks his third, and the Dogs are in front.
McRae is just so poised with the ball in hand. His hands are deadly.
A goal in every quarter for Dixon. I reckon he kicked a goal in every quarter last week. And you're right with Libba. He went to Kennedy, by the way, for the first centre bounce. It was Libba standing alongside Kennedy, not Bontempelli.
Just his will. Just his will in that contest, just to keep the ball in, another stoppage, and then that smother creates a goal.
Toby McLean got the free kick. He's very good at that, just lowering the shoulder. When you tackle him, you've got to go lower than that. And then smart by McRae, little give, and Tory Dixon having a wonderful game. Well, this is a good game of footy.
The ruckman touched the footy, Roughhead out of the middle, kicks it down towards half forward, getting back. The mark is taken by Lloyd. Short, Mitchell, 15 possessions in the second term. Lloyd pushes up again from behind, kicks it down towards half forward, going back is Hamling. Dropped the mark though, chance for Morris. He couldn't control it, Tippett's over the footy, can't get that right arm free. He'll get a ball up.
Dennis, really looking forward to seeing what Jake Stringer does in the second half. He's just come onto the ground, started the second half on the interchange bench after that discussion with the coach at half-time.
Franklin can't get clear. Smith, Daniel, clever kick to Dalhouse. They spread it to Biggs. Started his career, of course, as a Swan. Cordy kicked a goal in the opening term. He had an influence.
This is what he has to do, Cordy. He's got to hit up to the wings and get Grundy out of that defensive area where he took 5 intercept marks.
Dunkley, oh, that's courage.
Well, that's 50.
50 metres. Late bump. Set it down and paid the 50. It was late.
Yeah, well umpired. That was very late. Didn't need to do it, and bumped. I know we're only talking a fraction of a second there, but Layla chose to still crash into the back of McRae. That's a costly 50 to give away.
Huge chance here for the Dogs. McRae's only had one set shot all year. Do you remember it?
Last week.
It's the only time he's had a set shot.
Pretty good one too.
Yep, he's only kicked 2 goals this year in round 1, and last week when he nailed the winner was the only time he's taken a set shot for the year. This is the second time. They haven't missed from a set shot today. They're 4-0. The Swans are 2-4. There you go, big build-up. What a difference a week makes. Isaac Smith knows all about that stuff, doesn't he? It's a let-off.
It certainly is. To the nervous kick. Grundy with the footy then. To the wing. Will Tippett get there? Gave a contest. Ball's in front. Johannesson accelerates away. Hunter along the boundary. Smith with no help. He knew that, so he hung onto the footy and crossed the boundary line. So a blemish for McRae. Dogs lead it by 4. Early going third term in the grand final. Roughhead has done well, knocked it down to Hunter, stripped of the football though, rolls across towards a player in McRae who did well improvising. Picken hacks it as it bounces and kicks it about 5 metres and out of bounds. So a boundary throw in, 50 plays 46. And this crowd now at fever pitch. What a game it's been. What a game it promises to be.
Naismith front spot, but Roughhead wins that tap. Picken couldn't quite get it out. Swans have got numbers. Hanbury at the coalface. Mitchell, Hanbury and Kennedy. Prolific first halves and goals to Mitchell and Kennedy. A couple of them. Laidler, that one smothered. Picken getting back to Stringer. Stringer's hands, okay, he was in a tight corner and Daniel runs it out for a boundary throw in. Just needs a goal, Stringer, though. He just needs to break the shackles. He looks intimidated. He looks overwhelmed just for the moment. Such a brilliant footballer, game breaker, but not so far today. Naismith, Roughhead. Not for a while, to be truthful. Smith forward. McVeigh holding Dalhouse up. Vice versa, Bontempelli in hard. And the Dogs get a stoppage in a very dangerous spot.
25 metres out directly in front. Roughhead with the jump on. Kelly came in the opposite direction. Peckin. Hunter on his left foot. Hooks. It's a behind.
That third man up there, Bontempelli again, Lingy from a stoppage. Just so clever at that. Get the ball down to Hunter.
And they only need a fraction of a second with ball in hand. We know how good their hands are. Those forward stoppages are becoming more dangerous for the Swans.
Rampy to half-back. Franklin worked out of the contest. Biggs, Dunkley. Johannesson with the outside of the boot. Bontempelli will fly. Got hands to it. Didn't hang on. Hanbury pushed to the back surely. No free kick. Wow.
I went down next to him.
Ball up inside the forward 50 for the Western Bulldogs, who are now pressing. Third man up again. Bontempelli did nothing. Naismith crumbed it. Kicks it up towards the wing. And now Tippett finds himself in space and surrounded. Played it brilliantly. Got it to Franklin. Franklin just forward of the wing. Demanding it long is Richards. He goes in that direction. And Richards finds space and takes the mark.
Gee, that's a superb kick by Buddy Franklin. Well weighted. Got it over the top of the defender. There was nothing the Bulldogs defender could do then. Perfect kick to Richards. We've marvelled at his field kicking throughout the finals. Duck. A display then again from Lance Franklin.
Xavier Richards then in there for kicking goals. Can he kick one now? Well, not sure he tried. That's a poor kick to the opposite pocket. Roughhead is going to be granted a free kick. These big fellas, Naismith and Roughhead, worked tirelessly this afternoon.
Passed the eye test, didn't he, Roughhead? He's had a huge contribution. Big fly from Mills. Cordy was first to the ball and now wrestling it out. Did very well. Hunter, Daniel, Stringer. Well done, Stringer. And does he keep it in? No, nothing quite going right, but a better effort there. That might give him a slight lift. Plenty of upside there if you're a Doggy fan. Rampy to construct from centre wing to Jones.
Across half-back then, Jones. To Laidler. Much travelled. Mills. A little untidy. Still a good kick, though. Richards now a runner inside Franklin. Centre on his left side. Runs into trouble, though. Goes back, hoping for help. Richards over the football. Finds Lloyd. Lloyd goes inside. Jones back to Lloyd. Forced a hand pass to centre half-back Rampy. Takes a step back. Assesses the terrain and comes out wide. That's a telling kick that got there quickly. Jack plays on, kicks inside the forward 50, working in front Parker. Boyd is with him. Boyd goes back. It was touched first by Parker. In goes Roughhead, taken down by Parker. Wonderful reflex work by Parker to his feet and tackling in a split second.
Spot on, Den.
I reckon in this second half, they're going to have to get something out of McGlynn and Papley inside that forward 50. When it hits the ground down the other end, the Dogs are so dangerous.
Here's Kennedy. Could he kick a third? No. Wonderful smother across his boot from Morris. And the ball up.
We don't often focus on the art of smothering, but gee, the Bulldogs have done it well today. Little 1%ers like that, they mean everything in a game like this.
That's the spot Kennedy's kicked his couple of goals in. Boyd doesn't quite get it out. Jack is out in the back. Bontempelli rides him down, turns him over, and ball up again.
What about the tackling from both teams? Once again, right from the start until now, neither team has had room to use the footy.
Dogs lead it by 5 then. Tippett tries to direct it across to Kennedy. Down goes Hewitt. Bontempelli emerges with the football. Kicks towards the outer side. How will it bounce? Awkwardly. Comes back towards Mills. Claimed it as second there and taken down, but he got it off. That was well played to Smith. His kick still inside the centre square. Charging through is Smith, gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell just sets one up. About 20 metres out. Tippett, the temerity to claim a mark. Have it across to Parker. His kick went about 5 metres, taken by Roughhead. Kicks it back outside the 50. From behind Biggs. Didn't mark it, got it on the bounce and kicks it down towards half forward.
Important ball here now. Labour a left footer, but he went the right way and gets to another lefty in Rampy. And then Rampy, that's a very good kick. It was dangerous, but you had to cut the line. Jack goes to half forward. Now look at Franklin here. Let's see his movement. Can he get some separation? It's a clever, clever kick. It was going to go through. It's kept in. It's a behind. Richie thought his way through there, buddy. There's no explosion today because of the ankle, but he did everything here to will this one home, didn't he?
Yep. Didn't quite hit it right.
Meantime, Johannesson has kicked it to himself and kicks towards the outer side wing. In front, Stringer. Second chance for Stringer. Brilliantly done, Mitchell. Stripped him of the ball. Gave it to Mills, to Hewitt. And now down the line, Heaney. Awkward half volley in front of Backley. And it goes across the boundary line, and Heaney is slow to get up. 51 plays 47. Midway through this third term. Grueling grand final. Boyd and Tippett. Boyd at the second attempt knocks it down. Jack left without it. Boyd goes after it.
Zach Heaney just looked a little bit sore after this. You see there, Biggs coming through, just took out his ankle, rolled outwards. He looks like he's going to stay on the ground though.
Parker, third man up, gave Jack half a chance. Hewitt, well done. Mitchell misses McGlynn. Morris held up in the tackle. Bontempelli runs hard, kicks long. 1-on-1 at the back, Rampy. Smith, not quick, but he does think, well, that's a beautiful half volley from Lloyd. Oops. Back to Smith, and then Smith with some time finds Richard. So Richard's getting involved in this quarter. Little kick down the line. McGlynn's been quiet. Richo talked about Papney, McGlynn. They haven't really had an impact. They haven't hit that board. McGlynn's kick is clever to Franklin. Franklin's still a big shadow over this game, even though he's not fully fit. What does he do here? Does he find a target? It's a beautiful kick. Oh. Is that 50?
That's got to be. Should be 50. That is stupid play. Very, very silly football. He was always going to mark that. I know there's an argument for making him earn it, but that was just silly. Jumped at him. And it's going to be a certain goal.
So Kennedy to equal his career high in a virtuoso performance, and the Swans are back in front. Yeah, silly stuff. So 3 for Kennedy. Franklin's field kicking again. I mean, it was like a little chip. It was a little sandwich, wasn't it?
Yeah, just had enough flight on it to get over the defender, to get over McLean in actual fact, and then McLean, that's just undisciplined. Kennedy just not getting as much of the footy, pushed himself forward.
That helps, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now he's feeling good again. Well, Ron Barassi in 1954 was 18 years of age when he played against Teddy Whitten's Bulldogs when they won their only flag. It was the first grand final Barras played in.
Back in the middle, Boyd on the ground, just knocked it forward. Parker claimed by Becken. Dalhouse throws the body in. That ball moved a couple of metres and that's all, and a ball up.
1 metre
so the
up.
Swans again surging, and they lead by 2 points. Third man up, Naismith of all people, knocked it down, taken by Liberatore, tried to feed it across to Daniel, and again the umpire will do the business, right in the heart of the MCG. Naismith to Mitchell standing at his feet, just rolled it away. Boyd had a play on the football, thinking about soccering was Parker. Liberatore working hard in there, brilliantly done by the little man. Down goes Boyd. Hanbury, the one who took him down. And they advance it 10 metres. The umpire's overworked. The players, no clean touches. Hanbury dragged down. Well done, McRae. Chopped off there and slapped away by Heaney. Comes out of the pack, I think it was Liberatore who knocked it inside the forward 50. In the opposite direction, Rampy smothered off the boot by Dunkley. Trying to charge his way through as Jack. Nothing doing, spills to Parker. Eventually, the ball gets clear. It's 1-on-1 on the wing. Make that 2-on-2. Dragging the ball back, trying to knock it forward. Unfortunately, nothing doing down there, at least initially. Hackley had a chance, but Biggs takes the ball away. Up towards the wing, Stringer. Morris involved there as well for that takeaway. Meanwhile, Rampy goes back. He's claimed by Dalhouse. And did he take too long? He did.
Gee, what a passage of footy we just saw. That whole minute and a half was remarkable stuff.
And that's against the trend by the umpire there. They've normally let that go. They've let the players take on the tackler.
Dalhouse to fall forward. Heaney, big fly, no mark. So Clay Smith, the hero of last week. Now is this... Well, gee.
Just one of those unlucky ones. What about Dale Morris at the other end? That is superb. Won the ball back for his team. That's the reason why Smith's having a shot.
4 goals last week. 1 goal in the grand final. The Dogs back in front. Well, it's too early to call, but it's one of the great ones. It's a long way to go, and it might blow out, but we thought we might see something like we're seeing today. It's living up to it. It's
just frantic. Frantic around the footy.
And there are so many good players out there today. You feel like they're not going to go away. Five lead changes today already. And even the biggest stars reckon it's all right, don't they?
What about Dale Morris? We sang his praises earlier in the game. Wonderful there. Back at half-back. Getting them out of trouble. Eventually, they converted. Now Boyd does nicely. McRae alongside the centre circles. Kicks inside the forward 50. Liberatore trying to restrain Rampy. He won't be restrained, though. Gets a teammate there in Grundy. Now McVeigh deep in defence, short, not 15. Mills gives it back to him now. McVeigh then drives to the outer side, knocked down by Roberts. Richards trying to clear a path for a teammate. That was Jack, but he left the ball behind. Bontempelli boots a ball inside the 50. McLean, a hand pass. Matthew Boyd kicks it down towards full forward. Mills goes back, tackled by Stringer, gets it to Rampy. And the ball goes across the line for a behind.
So many changes, 5 changes to lead, but again, now you feel like it's the Dogs, don't you? You feel like suddenly the momentum is with them.
Clever kick by Bontempelli.
Oh, absolutely, Wayne. I mean, he gained some meterage. He put it into a dangerous spot, didn't he? He hasn't had a whole lot of the ball, but he's been very influential. Kennedy's had a heap of it. The kick to centre wing. Papney couldn't quite. Richo. Just Sydney, so many goals from their midfield so far.
Yeah, 5 out of their 8 have come from the midfield. 3 to Kennedy, 2 to Mitchell, and 1 to Luke Parker. 6, they've had nothing out of any of their starting forwards. Tippett, Franklin, Rowan's the only one that's kicked a goal. That's not sustainable. The forward line has to impact if they're going to win this game.
Bontempelli hand passes straight up in the air, snatched away by Kennedy. McGlynn, now Jones, kicks it towards half-forward Franklin. Hamling peeled off, didn't knock it forward. Now they've got a problem. Did Roberts have the football? Apparently he did. Slapped out of there by Morris. Well played. Hand pass came from McRae. Boyd, his second opportunity. Kicks it up towards the wing. Bontempelli. Morris involved again behind play in that last exchange. Morris and Boyd doing great work in defence. Dixon, number 29, turned 29 on Monday. Sends a long ball down towards the pocket. Grundy! Oh, he's been wonderful.
Yeah, can't afford to just bomb the ball like that. The Bulldogs done it time and time again, and Grundy has marked everything when they've done it.
And Lingy Bontempelli's the one that's lifting, isn't he?
The last 5 minutes, Bontempelli's been huge.
McVeigh, good kick. Rowan, can he use his run? No. Corralled by Wood. So Sydney starved for the ball in their forward 50 for a while here. 5 points behind.
Tippett's just come on, and he's going to have a mismatch if they can get it in there.
Gee, not sure what Rowan was really trying to do there. And the ball in. It's a head clash.
He was down for a long time after that too, Kennedy. Had to go really deep into defence. He's cleared his head. Don't forget he got knocked down a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, against the Giants in that first final too.
Naismith tries to paddle it forward. Jack got the arms free. Ball falls to the ground. Bontempelli knew where the help was. McRae, Dalhouse. They run 3 of them down the outer side towards half-forward, but the kick is marked by Laidler. Numbers didn't help where the ball was coming from. Laidler to Rampy, having a good turn, Rampy. Some indecision though, backs off at least initially, thinks about a hand pass, will go down the line now to a contest, but he's got tall representation. And Naismith certainly hasn't been overawed in this grand final. Got the ball forward at right half back. Boyd, can he do likewise? Yes, he can. He returns serve.
He's been impressive, Boyd, in the last month or so. He's hard as much as his class, hasn't he? He's...
That's where you needed Tippett or Franklin to give a contest down the line. They just were out of position.
Biggs to Morris. There's Franklin, hard on Morris, and forces the error. I just feel like Buddy is moving slightly better at the moment. He hasn't hit the scoreboard. So Nick Smith, who kicked his first goal in 3 years today, that's a poor kick. And Morris, who is just so gutsy. I mean, he knew Franklin was close by, but he wasn't going to take his eye off the ball.
And they're double teaming Buddy at the moment, the Bulldogs, every time it goes there. That means Tippett, Gary Rowan, got to get dangerous.
Boyd, they've done well here, the Dogs. McRae, now he's not going to scamper off, he's going to wait. This guy can scamper, run. Naismith running hard. Well done, big Naismith. But he gets the ball just over Mills. Picken, Libber's hands good. McLean's hands good. Hunter's a left footer. Daniel's a good start shot. And he's missed. But what about the build-up? And what about when Joe Henderson took off and Naismith ran his heart out the big guy?
Wasn't he good, Naismith?
He was. It wasn't quite gentle in Rioli then, but it was pretty good.
And he affected the kick, certainly, didn't he? Now Lloyd to bring it in. 2.5 minutes out from three-quarter time. Dogs up by 6 points. Lloyd short to the pocket and Rampy. Look at the involvement there in that crowd. Riding every kick, every bump, every tackle.
50 metres, too high, 50 metres.
That's against Libber. Didn't quite see that. Oh, there you go.
That's there. No question.
No doubt. So Rampy's got the football. There's Dad trying to make sense of that. And his son's been very good. Mills pushes up. He's marked at right half back.
We haven't seen any fluent Sydney ball movement, though, in a long time. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, they're opening the Swans up on the outside. It's a little bit worrying.
Well, their gut runner in Hanbury hasn't touched the ball this quarter. Rowan's had one touch.
Big problems, you'd think. I mean, the scoreboard's so close, but at the moment, the Bulldogs are pushing and pushing and pushing. Joe Henderson with that run and carry, and then gets the ball to Dalhouse. It's a beautiful kick. It was the one thing missing from Joe Henderson in the first half. And you feel like they are opening them up. How many times we've seen the Swans stagnant at half-back, Dalhouse back? Well, this is a good play, because this might bring Stringer into it. It does, but he misses. But they stretch that lead. They get it beyond the goal. We haven't had it beyond the goal for a fair while in this match.
Lloyd's bring it in, wasting no time. Target is Naismith, but the man who takes the mark is Boyd. Tom Boyd gives it across to Hunter, drives it back towards full forward. Picken surrounded, got hands to it. Smith arrived, tackled immediately by his opposite number, his namesake. Dragged down, it rolls across to Picken. He went down. McVeigh at close quarters gave it to Parker. Parker under duress, kicks it back out. Tom Boyd once more. Oh, this is the emergence of a young star. The finals round has certainly seen another Tom Boyd. And those last two marks pivotal as they push on to victory.
His hands have been good today. He dropped the first mark of the game on his chest, but his hands have been brilliant. This might be just beyond him. He's clearly very confident that he can make the distance.
We're about to find out. So valiant in the second half last week. Rucking against Mummy. Kick is on the way. And this one just missing to the right. Got the distance. Margin is 8 points.
Kicked a couple. Well, had a huge third term here.
He's had a massive third term. I've never seen him in a game mark the ball as well as he has today. What a time to do it.
Well, he's had career high contested marks, Wayne, today. Huge effort by him. Dogs slightly on top. You can see that for yourself. Jones to Kennedy. The numbers not so big for these great Sydney players. They couldn't keep it going. Kennedy, Naismith, Tippett, spreads it. Here is Hanbury. Richo talked about him. Hardly seen him. McGlynn's been so quiet today. Well played by McRae. And the Bulldogs are going to lead at three-quarter time.
Macca, we know that the Sydney Swans have been the best first quarter side in the competition, but this season, trailing at three-quarter time, they haven't won a game.
Gee. Well, that's what they'll be doing, Tim, whatever happens in the next few seconds. It's not much in it on that board. It has been a grand final to savour with so much still to come. Three-quarter time in the big one. And it's the Dogs 61, the Swans 53. So the final term of a final call. Pity it's not 54 to 61, then that would have rung a lovely ring, wouldn't it?
So, still, this will do, eh? What a great game it's been. Bulldogs by 8 points as we start the telling quarter. We'll know in about 30 minutes. Pelly and Kennedy jousting wide of this bounce. You can see them in the background. In the foreground is knocked down by Tippett. Under pressure, he gets a kick down towards half forward. The judgment from the captain this afternoon of the Dogs. Easton Wood goes out wide. The former captain, Matthew Boyd, tracks it. Plenty of time. Kicks it up towards the wing. Cordy on the lead. Got a side boot to it. Dalhouse played it well. Gave it to Picken. Picken a high ball. Hunter tried to work in front. McVeigh missed it. Back goes Heaney. Under pressure was Kennedy. Stolen by Picken. Pulls it back towards the middle. Whose ball is it? Getting there first and doing well, Grundy. Got a hand pass away to Jones. On the overlap, Hanbury. And now McGlynn's away.
And now the Swans away. They get to centre wing. A big ball here. And Wood wins it again. Brilliant. Joe Henderson just lost his feet. Hanbury in hard. Hurt himself. Hanbury's in trouble. I hope he's all right. Joe Henderson to run and carry. Good tackle. He gets a fair bit on it. Mark taken by Rampy. Where's Hanbury? Is he all right? He's in trouble.
I don't think he's going to be okay at all. He's clutched his knee. He's in agony at the moment, and the trainers are carrying him off the ground. And it should have been a free kick too.
Yep.
Gee, what a story there. Franklin at half-back. Has he got one last running in, Buddy? As Hanbury goes to the bench. Franklin's kick to Tippett. Can't take the mark. Wood's been telling in this last quarter. Good all day. Rough head to Roberts. They build.
This is Hunter. Sweeping hand pass inside the centre square. McRae gets the kick off in time inside the forward 50. Dixon battling there with Lloyd. Dixon goes again, but not before Mitchell gave it back to Lloyd. And now Jones is away. Accelerates from half back. Carries the ball up towards the wing. Tries to measure the kick to Parker, but wide of him. Rough head. Going stride for stride with him. Not a good sign. Parker not moving too well. The hand pass came from Roberts to Botham-Pelly. Up towards the wing. This guy is running brilliantly. Joe Henderson. Pity he's not kicking as well. It goes down towards the pocket. Rampy run down from behind. Picken got him dead to rights. And the surge and the run and the electricity is coming from the Bulldogs to start this final term.
All the run is with the Western Bulldogs, and that's the bad news for Sydney on the bench. Dan Hanbury getting that lower leg checked out. What a tackle. Rampy had no idea that Picken was closing so quickly. He's done it all final series, Liam Picken. He has been brilliant. They do have all the run, all the energy at the moment.
That's a big story there on the sidelines right now. I don't like the look and expression on Dan Hanbury's face at all.
So Picken, what a huge kick it is, comes in. And this one is sliding across the front of goal. How many Dogs there? Cordy outmanoeuvred by Grundy, and the mark is taken by Heaney.
The wrong end for the Swans at the moment. Heaney getting it outside. Lap 50. Franklin doing some work at half-back in this final term with Tippett. And that ball held in, and the ball out.
On the ball. You dragged it in.
No, free kick to
the
Swans. So Franklin, so the second kick he's got at half-back in the final term. Getting involved, Buddy.
They got nothing at half forward. Tippett's trying to get there now to make a contest.
Franklin floats it forward. Bontempelli gets around a little too easily. Clever kick. Half volley by Cordy. Good. Over the top, Dalhouse running on. How good was Clay Smith? Can't get it out. Heaney onto him. Grundy look away. Terrific. To Jones. To Smith. Big questions asked of the Swans here. Kennedy worked under the ball. Goes back to Morris. Goes back to Cordy. Oh, well done. Gets the ball inside forward 50. Gee, how good has Grundy been today?
They've stood up the defence. Bulldogs just have to have a little bit more composure. They're dominating the footy right now. Just have to hit a target inside 50.
Swans under pressure. Rampy to Lloyd towards the wing. Richards comes. Unfortunately for the Swans, lost his footing at the last moment. His opponent had already gone to ground, so he has to settle it down. Just up from right half back. He sends it towards half forward. Heaney is outnumbered, but help is on the way. Franklin was up, didn't take the mark. Parker got the crumb, gave it to Hewitt. Taking a full rotation. Heaney's got it now. Kicks a floater down towards half forward. One-out contest all the way. Wide of the pack, Hunter. Hunter quickly releases the ball, but getting back is Papley. Papley snaps, and he misses to the near side.
Had to give that then, Tom Papley. Had to give it to Josh Kennedy. Wasted chance. Here's Dan Hanbury. Oh, that is got medial ligament written all over it in your knee. Maybe even worse than that. Oh, that's, yeah, he's going to be sore. No wonder Tim's worried about him coming back out in the ground.
Oh, Boyd again.
Remarkable.
Incredible. And then kicks to a one-on-one contest. Not much in this game, but the Swans need the opening goal here. Richards gets it back to forward 50. Papley subdued for most of the day. Has to hit the scoreboard in the last quarter. And the ball up.
Boyd has been unbelievable since half-time. They almost need him to be doing that in their forward 50 when they kick it long. You know, it's a brilliant mark.
You know what it's reminding me of? The 2011 Grand Final, Tom Hawkins.
Yeah. Hawkins.
He's basically Hawkins' coming out party.
Yep, and you become a different player after that, don't you? Naismith, we've got that 54-61 Bulldogs scoreboard for the moment. The kick inside forward 50. Hamling, so courageous. Goes wide, they open up. Daniel's on the run here. If Biggs goes to him, he does.
So Daniel now takes the mark at right half back. He'll bypass the short man, goes long looking for Stringer. Had it thumped away. Chance for Heaney, clever by Cordy. Knocked it into the path of Hunter, tackle from behind by Laidler. And the Swans able to tie it up. Just over 14 minutes remaining in this final quarter. Well, that's remarkable too. Hanbury is on his feet and jogging on the boundary as Kennedy continues to do what he's done all afternoon. Gave it across to Jones, bounces it to Papley. Papley on the wing to space. Franklin is surging after this one, and he gets there. Had the acceleration that time, and now this is his spot.
He doesn't look good, Dan Hanbury. He's trying his hardest, but if as soon as he tries to change direction, he winces in pain. But I think he's going to have a crack. He's a gutsy player.
This is what the Swans have been able to do all final series. When they've been dominated, they've been able to go to the other end of the ground and kick that important goal. Bulldogs dominating here. Sydney might get that goal.
80 goals for the season, 12 possessions this afternoon, none of them goals. The angle opens up for the left footer, and the champion nails it. Never deviated.
He's been big in the last quarter, Dan. I mean, he's working half back as well. He's actually played as a defender for part of this last quarter.
That was a heck of a kick, wasn't it?
Yep.
So a point the difference. A grandstand finish.
He knew how big that was. He's worked so hard in this last quarter. That's a massive goal. Gone from one end of the ground to the other. Hasn't happened too often in this game.
Kennedy, by the way, just the third man to have 30 and 3 goals in a grand final. Smith out of the centre. Dogs by a point. Picking good contest, but a better mark taken by Smith.
You're not off. Play on.
What an effort by the Swans. If they are to win this match, you would think the first 7-8 minutes of this quarter where they held up the Dogs will be the telling moment. And what about the bravery of this young fella, the symbolism of him back on the ground?
If that is a medial ligament, he will be able to run in straight lines, but Richo's right, he will not be able to change directions for the rest of this game.
Hewitt, no influence. And then that ball tapped out. Is it a boundary throw-in? It is.
He was wincing in a bit of pain when he actually kicked that footy there, Hanbury. Look at this. He kicks that and you can see. He
can't put any power through that at all.
No.
Bulldogs by a point then, falls in front. Mitchell tried to crash the pack. Daniel in waiting, kicks it down towards half forward. Cordy gets into his move, now he's in trouble. Comes back to Stringer. Great tackle by Heaney, got him down. Ball up. Every possession, every contest vital now. 12.5 minutes out from full time. Mitchell dancing through the pack. Releases Hewitt. He was dragged down from behind. Bontempelli tracks the football back. Goes around Tippett, gives it to McRae in space. He drives it back towards the 50. Picking from behind! Picking from behind! What a mark! The littlest man at the threesome. He's got the ball about 55 metres out. Sydney running men back towards the goal square. Liam Picken comes in, thinks he can do the trip. It's a long kick, won't get the trip. Heaney angles a punch cleverly back across the boundary.
I thought we were looking at his dad there, Billy Picken. That is a brilliant mark. Just hovered in the air. As he was coming down, he's taken that. That is a fantastic grab by Liam Picken.
His dad played in 5 grand finals. He's a great player for Collingwood. Didn't get that Premiership Cup. That was a Billy Picken special. It's a Liam Picken special. Rough head. Boyd. Ball not coming out. All those goals in the second quarter, you think back to all those goals, those 11 goals in the second quarter, Hanbury off the ground. Wonder if he can come back. McRae. Stringer! Oh yes, he's done it! The package! Might deliver a cup!
Oh, Brucey, and who got the hand pass out? Our man with the hands.
Oh.
Wonderful stuff. 7 points the difference.
You don't need many. You don't need many of those hands, but...
So near and yet so far now, these Bulldogs consented.
Right, he's had a quiet day, but it doesn't matter. You can do that in the last quarter. You could still have a massive influence. That's a huge goal. In actual fact, his goals in the finals have all come from snaps.
Still plenty of time. Margin 7 points. Naismith up, thumps it forward. Parker, misfortune to slip over, gives it to Hewitt. Hewitt under pressure, goes with the left peg down towards the forward pocket. In from the side, Rowan. Spills in front, Kennedy. Boyd is there for the Dogs. Hand passes outside the 50. Kennedy can't get the arms through the hand pass, so forced to kick. Down towards the pocket. Morris jumped from behind. Boyd was in there. That's going to be incorrect disposal. Hewitt worked hard moments ago. He was in the centre square. And now he's got a shot at goal, the youngster. With the man on the mark about 30 metres out, 10 metres in from the boundary.
It's a hard call, that. Just tapped it.
George Hewitt. A faithful kick, perhaps. He's got the goal. It's on again. A point the difference.
He's had a good last quarter. He had a quiet first 3. He was one of 5 debutants that John Longmire played in the opening game of the year. You're up there looking for Saturday night footy. 3 of them are playing today. He's played nearly every match. He's made a contribution in this last quarter.
Just reinvigorated their whole list, the way they brought those debutants in. Good job.
Remarkable day. They couldn't nail their set shots earlier today. Franklin nails one, Hewitt nails one. Back to a point.
Hanbury back to the bench too, Bruce.
That should come back. You got a gut feeling, Richo?
Oh, he's just not right. He's in a lot of pain. He's trying to tell the doc and that he's okay. We know how gutsy he is, but he's clearly not okay.
Liver tough and hard, gets it forward. Stringer feeling it for the moment and getting it forward. That's an important play. Rampy gets the good bounce. What a fine player he is, the All-Australian. It was touched on the way through. Biggs knew it. He has to get away. He can't. Good tackle, Papley. Heaney, little hands, not great. Swans with numbers. Papley burrowing, can't get through. And a ball up.
Well done, Tom Boyd. Put the body in. Why waste no time? Liberatore, brilliantly done. Spins in and out of trouble. Sends it inside the forward 50. Turns Grundy around. Bearing down is Cordy. This ball wanders out towards left half back. Opportunity now for Richards. Coming across his bow is Stringer. Both of them missed it. Picked up by Mills. Hand passes to Hewitt, who's taken too high. And he'll get the free kick at right half back. But the last goal.
Goes long. Franklin, his target, doesn't quite get to him. Naismith. Franklin gets a touch on it. Kennedy. Again, what a ball he is. Franklin put in a tough position, drops it down. Can't get it out. Gets an important toe poke. Boyd, what a game he's playing. Both the Boyds. Belts it forward. Belted away by Rampy. Only as far as Dalhouse. McLean out wide. This is big. Really big. Cordy waits, gets it back. Stringer, oh, couldn't quite. Mills on the up. Back to Smith from Lloyd. Bad kick. McRae, plenty of time to think it through. Still thinking it through. Good kick. Finds Picken.
Stay clear.
9 minutes to go. Picken. Side up by a point. Extra time if required this afternoon. Picken sends it down towards full forward. Stringer launches himself, didn't take the mark. Behind a chance for Smith. Dalhouse run down as the ball bounced towards him. Big Boyd goes down. Nothing doing for Tom there. And it's a ball up. Tom Boyd, born on the day of Ted Whitten's state funeral, the 22nd of August 1995. He's playing like Whitten this afternoon. Well, not quite. Different sorts of players, but what a game he's played. Oh, Picken was taken high there. No free kick. Kennedy scrambles it out. Stopped by Boyd. That's Matthew. Hand passes to McLean. Wriggles free. Across to Daniel. Deep in the pocket, Daniel. Centering ball. Getting back Heaney with wonderful courage. And he wins a free kick. Brilliant, brilliant. In fact, it may be... Is it going? No, it's not to Rampy. It's going to Heaney. Bumped in the back.
Goes wide. Good kick. Gets it to Grundy. Has Grundy played a better match than this?
He's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Papley. He'd love to snare a goal in the last quarter. And that's not what he wanted. But he puts a tackle on Biggs. Swans may still get out here, Lloyd. Oh, terrific by Biggs again. Dunkley's hands. McRae. We know he's so good with ball in hand. Dunkley. Biggs going hard. Mills gets down low. No free kick. Has to cough it up. Biggs in there again. Ball almost out to Cordy. Not quite. It is now. Doesn't quite get a kick. Daniel. Still Daniel. Boyd. No goal. Ball about 15 metres away. Biggs. He started it all. Can't quite finish it. Ball comes out. Dunkley gets it back. McRae. Beautiful kick. Gives McLean a chance. Picken. Oh, Picken. Picken. Yes. Liam Picken nails it. How big was that? Incredible. It was a wave. It was 62 years of frustration all coming in 1 minute. They're not home, but they're going to be hard to catch now.
Scotty West. One of the all-time greats looking on. A satisfied smile after that man kicked his goal.
Oh, this is just how they've played all year. Picken, he has been huge. Marking it on the ground, doesn't matter. He's turned himself into a match winner, this guy.
7 points the difference. Well, what can the Swans muster here? Knocked down by Roughhead. Bontempelli off the ground. Hunter knocks it across to Dixon. Dixon kicks it down towards half forward. Getting across is Grundy. Well played by Tom Boyd. Into the path of McRae. Wriggles free. Centering ball to a one-on-one. Picken dangerous. McVeigh did well. Bumped it away. Covered by Dunkley. Down to Picken. Can't break free. Surrounded by red and white. Papley too long. Got boot to ball. Great tackle by Smith. Kicked by Dunkley to the opposite pocket. Close to the boundary, surely a free kick for Rampy. Nothing doing. Taken by Grundy. Kicks it outside the 50, Johannesson. Wrong foots his opponent, McLean. Runs to the logo. He's a long kick, is Johannesson. I think he's put it through. Johannesson has kicked the goal. The boy from East Fremantle.
You know, you felt like he was one bloke in the last quarter that could make a big difference. Run and carry.
He's been burned. 739 metres gained. That's what he does.
And as good as the Sydney defence has been, they haven't had that bounce off half-back, have they?
They can sniff it now, the Bulldogs. They feel this Sydney team breaking. The run of Johannesson, the run of McRae, been unbelievable in this last quarter. There is a score review, though.
Having a look at it. You're just having a look at the last one.
Gee, it's close. It might be pointless. Is it? Is the ball completely over?
Well,
he missed.
There's a fat bit missed in it. I keep saying that.
Is he touched?
I reckon it's just
Review
over.
complete. The score is a behind. The ball's touched.
Not completely across the line, I would say.
Yeah.
That's their call. What a huge call.
It's a massive call.
And the Dog supporters are dismayed. They fear things like this.
The Bulldogs players now have just got to regroup, just stay calm, because they do have this game. They have the momentum. They've got to turn it into another goal.
Rampy to himself. Can he give them some bounce like Johannesson? He's played well, Rampy. Straight down the middle. Naismith. Oh, rough hit. Passed the test yesterday for the optometrist. Playing today has been excellent. Kicks the ball wide. A defensive kick. Boyd's been marking everything. Oh. Play on. It was McLean that was the highest. McRae gets a lot on it to fall forward. Jones belts it over. And the Swans are on their knees, and Bob Murphy can hardly bear to watch.
9 points the difference then. Back in round 3, it was Murphy who did his knee. What a recovery they've made over all those injuries. They kept fighting. Can they fight on from here? Ball to the pack, it's Hunter. Kicks inside the forward 50. No, says Jones. This is Mills. Kicks it back towards the wing. In front, Franklin. Knocked away by Morris. Naismith sold a teammate into trouble. Quick thinking by Kennedy. And Franklin was run down. Tom Boyd's got it. Tom Boyd goes long. How will it bounce? The stadium holds its breath. It's a goal. And the western suburbs erupt.
Might have just won himself the Norm Smith. I mean, it's ridiculous to say that he's in the frame.
Well, his influence in the second half of this game has been just huge.
The man who's done the simple things well all year, Dale Morris, he provided that goal for Tom Boyd, but what a moment, what a game for Tom Boyd. Sensational.
Swans need 3 goals. They probably need a miracle. Bontempelli can't quite get it out. Franklin gets hold of it now. Can he run and carry it, buddy? He's trying to. Kicks it forward. It's a good kick. It's a brilliant kick again. And McGlynn, who's hardly been sighted all day, has a chance to keep them in the match. Has to kick this for Sydney to win today. They won't come back if he misses. Gee, buddy was good there.
Some goals are concentration breakers. You kick them, and suddenly you think you've won the game. And the Bulldogs a bit like that with that last set of outs. But Johannesson drives it towards the outer side, off hands, pushing through his Bontempelli. Nothing doing there. We'll get a ball up.
So right now, Tom Boyd, he might be the cheapest $900,000 a year player going around.
Well, he's close, like that flag is. Based on today, a wonderful investment. Back goes Hunter, slips a hand pass away. Johannesson running as hard now as he did at the start, up towards the wing. Smith over the top, decided against the punch. Maybe he should have. McRae slides in and ties it up.
Nearly 100,000, eh? 19 shy. What a day that they have witnessed, with still 4 minutes away from everything if you're a Doggy fan. Everything.
Buddy starting at the back of this stoppage. Expect him to just fly through.
Parker. Daniel can't break it. Time on dog side. Bontempelli gets it out to Boyd. Gets it forward. And Stringer makes a good contest. McRae's been wonderful. Oh, he couldn't kick a fourth. Just misses. Incredible this day how people emerge.
Yes. Rampy towards midfield. Time of the essence now. Papley, Tippett. Mitchell has drifted out of the game. Kick blanketed. Goes to Matthew Boyd, who kicks it back inside the forward 50. After it goes Grundy. Played his heart out this afternoon. Stringer arrives. Grundy a defiant push across to Rampy. In goes McVeigh, back to Grundy, still recovering. Smith under pressure, just did enough. Gave it across towards Jones, and out of defence, the high ball comes from Lloyd. Mark is taken by Franklin. Under 3 minutes remaining. Franklin on his toes, dancing, just kicks it to space. There was no one on deep. Matthew Lloyd just ambles after it. They're consuming some time. Well played, Roberts across to Morris. Now Johannesson, and they're out. Dunkley around the outer side.
He's got numbers forward if they can win this contest. Stringer did well. Dalhouse to Daniel to Stringer, having an impact at last. That big goal in the last quarter. Good kick. Gives Pickett a chance. It's over. It's all over. The drought. The damn wall is busted. It's 62 long years.
What a game Pickett has played.
This is one of the most even performances that I've seen from a team. They have been brilliant, the Doggies.
Well, Pickett's just such a hard matchup. He's such a good one-on-one player. He can mark overhead, he can win the ball on the ground, he's got goal sense.
They are now experiencing the greatest feeling you will ever feel as a player. Late in the last quarter, and you know it, deep down that you know it, you have won the Premiership. Nothing gets better than that.
They're up by 21 points. Tippett thumps it forward. Hunter, fearing nothing. And charging off the line, taken high. Barely a scratch.
Don't give it away.
He's floating on air like his teammates now. The realisation is theirs. They've won the Premiership. The second for this club. Since their last grand final, they've been beaten in 7 preliminary finals. Down comes Luke Beveridge. It's time for a Beveridge. The underdogs are on top of the world.
What a story. So Hunter to leave the field as we go back from the coach there with the captain, and we'll go back to the on-field captain today. Incredible scenes. Australian football's had so many romantic, wonderful stories, and this is as good as it's ever been. A kick to centre wing. Dalhouse on the up. Roberts. Oh, McRae again with those hands. McLean to Daniel, and then Daniel hooking, just buying a bit of time, and Grundy to bring it back in. So they went to Perth and knocked off a grand finalist They came here and beat the three-time champs. They went to Sydney and beat the Giants. And now they're Giants themselves.
Enough to make grown men cry. And they are on the boundary line. Bontempelli to Roberts. A hand pass to half forward and Dixon. To Daniel. They're irrepressible now. They've run hard all season. They're running harder at the end of this historic grand final. Picken to Stringer. Jones defiantly. But it stands for naught. McLean taken high. 30 seconds to go. Tony Liberatore was in a few of those losing preliminary finals. He won a Brownlow medal. He's felt their pain. McLean. It's simply icing on the cake. What a day. McLean will kick virtually on the siren. He misses, but they don't miss out. Their day, their year, their joy.
Well, how good is that? The Bulldogs getting up by 20.
Dale, this is a magnificent day for you, a magnificent day for the Bulldogs.
Unbelievable. I'm absolutely speechless. Just to be out here, the crowd, the noise. This team, this club, I don't know, it's incredible.
The support for this team today was just unbelievable. Could you feel that out here on the ground?
I could feel it through the whole final series, especially this week. It's unbelievable. You've got to let me get back to the boys. This is unbelievable.
I'm going to let you do that. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Amazing scenes, aren't they? I mean, and look at Bob Murphy. He's the heart and soul so much of the footy club, but there's so much heart and soul in this football club.
There certainly is. He said on radio today before the game, Bob Murphy, he refused to be sad today. It was all about joy. And, well, he'll be lapping it all up as well with his teammates. I think Richo might have one of his teammates down there.
So Matthew having trouble hearing us. So we'll get to Matty in a minute.
I doubt he can hear us.
No. Well, what's 10 seconds to wait after you've had 62 years anyway? We're patient, aren't we? For Dan Hanbury, well, we know what he's going through. Matthew, down to
Yes, Bruce. Luke, this is just an incredible group that you've put together in 2 years. You must be so bloody proud, mate.
Yeah, I am, mate. You know, it all comes down to the players. So many people have put a lot of work into them and given a lot of guidance. And, you know, everyone who supports them in the club, got them to the point where they're pretty finely tuned for a grand final. It's just an amazing performance by our boys, and Sydney an unbelievable side, so took everything.
It was a great team effort, mate, but I want to individualise one player. The coming of age of Tom Boyd today, he was absolutely unbelievable. In the air, 3 goals, in the ruck. How good was he?
He was enormous.
How's that feel?
We're officially Yanks now. After that, yeah, Porty was amazing. Him and Ruffy have formed an unbelievable partnership, this year, and just see what he did, and probably left his best till last. I suppose it'll go down as one of those unbelievable grand final performances, hopefully for him.
Oh, it certainly was an unbelievable performance. What about some of the older statesmen, like Dale Morris, Matty Boyd? Some of their individual efforts at stages through this game were so crucial.
They were. We needed composure as well as the real grit and hardness around the ball, and they're just great guiding hands down there. And Easton was, the whole back line was tremendous. We felt like they had too many clean entries, and they held up really well until our midfield got a little bit of control in the back half. So that whole back line was enormous. JJ, Biggsy, some of those efforts in the last quarter were just sensational.
Mate, congratulations.
Thanks,
enjoy it.
Thanks, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you now welcome former North Melbourne Premiership player, a winner of the Norm Smith Medal back in 1999, Shannon Grant, to present the Norm Smith Medal to the player adjudged best of field in today's grand final.
The winner of this year's Norm Smith medalist is Jason Johannesson.
Firstly, to the AFL and all the sponsors, thank you for putting on a great season again. To the City Swans, such a well-respected club. I'm sure you'll be up there next year. To our club, it's been an amazing ride. I just love being a part of it. To all the supporters, it's been a long time coming. We did it!
Congratulations, Jason. Of course, it's every young footballer's dream to be on this dais on Grand Final Day. And we have 22 participants from the NAB AFL Auskick program who are now going to present the medallions to each player of the Western Bulldogs Football Club. And we start with number 4, Marcus Bontempelli.
Want to shake my hand? Good boy, you little cutie, this is yours.
Number 5, Matthew Boyd. Number 6, Luke Dalhouse. Number 7, Lockie Hunter. Number 9, Jake Stringer. Number 11, Jack McRae. Number 12, Zane Cordy. Number 14, Clay Smith. Number 16, Toby McLean. Number 17, Tom Boyd. Number 18, Fletcher Roberts. Number 20, Josh Dunkley. Number 21, Tom Liberatore. Number 23, Jordan Roughhead. Number 24, Shane Biggs. Number 29, Tory Dixon. Number 30, Joel Hamling. Number 35, Caleb Daniel.
Thanks, mate.
Number 38, Dale Morris. Number 39, Jason Johannesson. Number 42, Liam Picken. And the captain, number 10, Easton Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, would you now please welcome Australian Football Hall of Fame legend and four-time Premiership coach Lee Matthews to present the Jock McHale Medal to the coach of the 2016 Toyota AFL Premiership team, Luke Beveridge of the Western Bulldogs Football Club.
To Mike Fitzpatrick, Gillon McLaughlin in the AFL, thank you for an amazing year. Commiserations to the Swans, took our very best. You're an unbelievable side. An enormous effort by our players, obviously. Thank you to the AFL's major sponsor, Toyota. Thank you to our major sponsor, Mission, to Victoria University, EML, BLK and WorkSafe. This group of players are just incredible. Their hearts are so big. We know how long you've waited for some success. And I really thought at half-time it was going to take something extra special, even though they've given their all already. Absolutely special. Also a call out to all our support staff, especially all the people who put in so much work over a long period of time. Peter Gordon, our president.
You deserve this as much as anyone. And to you, the fans, our supporters, it really was an amazing day yesterday. We all kind of felt like the Beatles, and you boosted our spirits. We've ridden on your wings, really, and our players couldn't have done any more. I think they're totally spent. Thank you very much. Before we go, I'd like to get Bob Murphy up on the stand. This is yours, mate. You deserve it more than anyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have much pleasure in inviting Australian Football Hall of Fame member, the Brownlow medalist of 1960, and a man who's nearly as excited, if not more excited, than this football team. Please welcome John Schultz to present the Premier's Cup to Easton Wood and Luke Beveridge and Bob Murphy.
Das, I have never, ever heard anything like this in my life. This place was shaking. How are you?
I can't talk, mate. I'm just so blown away by what this means, and knowing so many of the faces there are here in the crowd, BT, and just what that meant. It's ridiculous what's just happened there. You're not supposed to do what they did. You can't go and win 4 finals, and there's this heart, there's this amazing spirit. To see Bob Murphy, who I love and just have so much respect for, mate, to see him up there is, with Luke Beveridge, it's just out of this world.
Oh, well done, mate. Bloody unbelievable. Congratulations to you and your team. Lingy, you've got the Norm Smith medalist. So Lingy might be having a little bit of trouble.
Well, JJ, you are a Premiership player. You are a Norm Smith medalist. There's red, white and blue everywhere on the MCG. Can you believe it?
No, I actually can't. I'm so numb right now. It's just a dream come true. I'm speechless.
What a journey you've been on, this team has been on to get here to this moment. I think Luke Beveridge mentioned it, all heart. Everyone displayed the heart today.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm just so proud of the whole football club as a whole. You know, it's been a special ride, and we finished it off really well.
One of the nicer moments you'd see in football too at the end there. The coach getting Bob Murphy up onto the Premiership dais. That's got to be special too, seeing Murph up there.
Yeah, it's so emotional, and he's our spiritual leader. He's a massive part of this win.
Something tells me you're going to enjoy it. You're going to celebrate this one hard, and you deserve to. Well done today, mate. Sensational.
Thank you, Lingy.
Well done, Lingy. Have a look at this here. I don't know whether you can get a shot of this. The 2 doctors, Jake Landsberger, Gary Zimmerman, they've been there for 40-odd years, these 2 gentlemen. The 2 most senior doctors in the competition. Das! And Das just there enjoying the moment. Back to you, Richo. Unbelievable scenes.
Well, Boydie, you just held the cup up in front of the Bulldog faithful here. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, it is. I can't describe it. Hasn't really sunk in yet. I'm sure it won't for a couple of days, but I'm so proud of this footy club, of all for all the adversity we've been through, you know, in the last couple of years. Just absolutely toughest group I've ever played with.
Mate, 2 years ago, in your heart of hearts, you probably couldn't have imagined that you'd be here in this moment now with that hanging around your neck.
Nah, it's, I mean, if someone had told me I was going to be standing with a premiership in tow 2 years ago, I would have laughed at them, really. But with this group, nothing, I've always said nothing's beyond this group, so really proud.
Mate, what a great touch. Bobby Murphy getting up there with Bevo, putting the medal around his neck. I'm sure you'd like to say something about Murph.
Oh, what can you say about Murph, really? He's the heartbeat of this footy club. Has been for a long time. He's our leader. We'll just have to do it again next year for him, I reckon.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Cameron Ling there. This, ladies and gentlemen, has been the most incredible day. We're going to soak this up. You're going to talk to your teammates. It has been an up and down day, one of the biggest days ever in grand final history. Yes, the Dogs have won. They're celebrating big time. And we've got a man here with us. I know there with the supporters. Jake Stringer has joined us. Jake, goal in the last quarter, big time goal. How incredible does it feel?
Oh, mate, it's unbelievable. I can't even put words into my mouth right now. Like, it's just unreal. Who would have thought 3 weeks ago, other than us boys playing, that we'd end up here? And I'm so proud of everyone at the club and everyone that's involved and all the supporters that come out, mate. This is for everyone, this one.
You got a sense of the history, Jake. There's idiots like me who've been crying for the week and going off our brains, and you guys roll up and just do what you do, and you do it better than anyone's ever done it.
Yeah, that was the main part. I mean, we had to try and block out as much as the noise as we could, but it was hard when the western suburbs were pretty much painted red, white and blue, so...
What about that man on screen there, Jake? He's missed out today, but no one is celebrating harder than Murph. He's a pretty special unit.
Yeah, that just shows his character, mate. He's just a true champion of the club, and you know, the emotion that he has on his face after the game, even though he didn't play, he's well and truly a part of every moment of this.
Don't want to talk too much shop, Jakey, but last week, the closing play, you could have had a shot, you centre it. Today, the same thing. Wow.
Yeah. Kicker owes me a couple, I think, so I'll get a couple beers off him later and I can't wait for it.
Now, you know he claims you as one of his own, mate. He loves you more than his own kids, I think. He went up in the holster in the call when you got the goal, mate. He's gone berserk.
Unbelievable. Let's get to Sam Lane, who's with Bob Murphy. Well done, mate.
Robert Murphy, can you put into words what is running through your veins?
We must be dreaming. It's something else. We didn't even allow ourselves daydreams about this. Sons and daughters of the Scray, we're bringing it home. Home!
That's a one-question interview. Robert Murphy right there.
Hey, Tommy, how good's this, mate? The Bulldog faithful, you're a Bulldog boy through and through. How do you feel, man?
Oh, happy days, Richo. Happy bloody days.
And, mate, how will this be for your family? You're obviously Bulldogs, your old man Tommy. How will the family be feeling right now?
Oh, I've got no idea. They're all scattered across here somewhere. Dad's probably passed out somewhere. I don't know.
Now, your dad asked you today what you're going to do best today, and that you said was celebrate afterwards. I've got a feeling you're going to do that pretty well.
I think so, Richard. You can come along as well if you want.
Where are you going, mate? Where are you going?
I was back to my zone. Come around.
Well done, son. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Easton, you are a premiership captain. It doesn't get much better than that, but you've just been able to share a special moment with your mum there. That must be extra nice.
It's unbelievable being here. I'm lost for words. I'm exhausted. I'm completely overwhelmed. So I can't describe the happiness. I can't. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And it was a crazy game of football, wasn't it? It was hard. It was tough. It's the way finals are played. But you guys endured like you've done all year.
It was everything a grand final should be. We knew what it was going to take. We knew it was going to take everything that we had. Can't believe it. The boys, as you said, every challenge we've had this year, we've continued to face up to it and step up when it counts. And how good's this? Enjoy it. You go back to your mum. Enjoy it. Well done, mate.
Well, Luke, this is what you play footy for, mate. You're holding the Premiership Cup, every young boy's dream. As a footballer, how's that feel in your hands, brother?
Absolutely ridiculous, mate. Absolutely ridiculous. I've nearly passed out from excitement, but oh, mate, just sitting here now, it's unbelievable. And I love this club, and I'll give them anything back just for giving me an opportunity. Sorry, mate.
That's great, mate. Keep going.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. No, it's all good.
Mate, at what point in that last quarter did you feel like you had it? Because you had all the momentum for most of it.
I think might have been Tommy Boyd kicking that goal. I think we had a momentum there, and we just had to win in the middle. I mean, they were probably on top of us most of the day, but we just fought it out and got the 1%ers done and let our forwards do the work.
I think you epitomise how the Bulldogs play. You smash in at the contest, and every player's just taken that on board under Luke Beveridge.
They have. There's 22 of us, and it doesn't matter who's best on or who wins the Norm Smith, as long as we get this baby here, mate, and we're wrapped.
Mate, hold her up for the crowd here. They love it. Look at them. Go the doggies.
Well, Boydie, you're a Premiership player with the Western Bulldogs. That move a couple of years ago made a lot of headlines, but I can see exactly why they tried so hard to get you. You were superb today.
Thanks, yeah. Well, you know, look, everyone's always asked, you know, obviously the club was in a little bit of turmoil when I arrived, but the list was strong. The key pillars of leadership were strong, and when Bevo came on board, it was just like a revelation. He's an unbelievable coach. He has so much belief in us, and this is a result.
The team just has so much heart, so much courage, but it didn't always go to plan, did it? There were injuries galore, even what happened through the middle of the year with yourself. But just the ability to overcome that adversity, is that almost the most proud part of the whole day and the whole winning?
Yeah, well, you know, we've said before, we're an extremely close group. You know, we ride the emotion of each other's, you know, successes and defeats as one. And obviously, you know, Mitch and Bobby and Brad going down earlier in the year was devastating, and it really did take its toll on us emotionally. But you know, we found a way. Don't give up.
Something tells me your eyes light up when the man who won the Norm Smith medal gets the ball too. Jason Johannesson. He was superb, wasn't he?
Oh, he's a star. To come back from the injury that he had in the middle of the year is just astonishing. A player of such speed and obviously running ability, but then just the poise and composure to get it done. He's been great for us all year and a very deserving medalist winner.
Yeah, this is a great feeling with the crowd. It means so much to so many people. I reckon it's only going to get better and better. As you take that cup back to Winton Oval, they're going to go nuts.
They're crazy. It's been a crazy week. The parade was ridiculous, and here we are now, and I'm so happy and so proud. We've got the best supporters in the game. They're with us through thick and thin, and this one's for them.
Enjoy it. Well done today, mate. Fantastic.
He came of age today, Tom Boyd. There's no doubt about that, Das. Is this the hardest thing you've done, to stand here, watch your friends behind you do what they are doing?
It's the hardest and it's the best thing. It's people you spend half your life with, and there's a lot of hugs going around Bristol, and I want to grab this man here.
Marcus Bonampelli,
He's done an unprecedented second lap. Mate, you superstar, mate. Can you come over and have a chat with us? 20 years of age, and this man has changed the whole face of a footy club. You're a freak, mate.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go that far, but, oh, mate, it's unbelievable to be a part of. You're right, it's an incredible club, and I'm stoked to have been a part of it.
It's unprecedented. You've done a lap and a half instead of a lap, so that's unbelievable.
Well, they wanted us to start at the interchange bench and finish up around here, so just following orders, but I enjoyed that.
Tell me through 2 years ago, you're a young player, first year, and the reports are the club's absolutely cooked. You couldn't have dreamed in your wildest dreams that in this short amount of time you'd be standing here. How did it happen?
Oh, mate, a lot of hard work, an incredible coach and coaching group, and an enormous amount of belief. We always had faith that we were capable of this, and I think we've proved to everyone that we were, and mate, there's nothing better.
What was said last quarter? So the game's close, you've played so many close games. What was said with the group to start the last quarter?
Well, we knew it was gonna happen around the ball. They had Kennedy flying, Parker coming, Hanbury going well. We just needed to take care of the inside, look after the outside, and just get the ball going our way, and we did. and we scored and we won.
There's going to be a fair old party, Bont, and good luck trying to stop me just hanging on to you with all the life, mate.
Everyone's invited.
You two enjoy your thing. We're going to come back for more of this in just a moment. Their first premiership in 63 years. The Premiership Cup arriving inside the rooms. They're not far off singing the songs. Have a look at that. They've welcomed people into the rooms all year. Today is no exception. They put the Premiership Cup down in the middle. Jake Stringer, I think, the last player to arrive in the rooms. It is pandemonium in there. We've got our team in there. We're going down there live very, very shortly. Das will pick it up, and the emotion is just... well, it's just bubbling over, and I can honestly say, in the 30-odd years I've been doing this, I've just never seen anything like it. I thought the MCG today at one stage when Boyd kicked that goal was vibrating. Enjoy this moment, Bulldog fans. You've waited 63 years.
The Western Bulldogs started season 2016 with a strong statement.
Here is Bontempelli now, shoots towards goal and puts through the opening goal in 18 seconds.
the Slick Dogs made the day's Dockers look like they were running in wet sand as they set up a 10-goal win.
And he gets the goal!
In his first game since 2014, Tom Liberatore celebrated with 25 possessions.
Torre goes for goal, and he gets it!
In round 2, the Bulldogs didn't hit the height of their dazzling round 1 performance, but were never seriously challenged by the Saints.
He maintained possession, and Daniel, he sold everyone the wrong way, the little man, and then he kicks a brilliant goal.
In round 3, the Western Bulldogs were to face their first big test of 2016. In what was dubbed a clash between the challengers and the champions, Hawthorn showed why it's been the competition's benchmark for the past 3 seasons with a brilliant comeback win. On top of the 3-point loss, Bulldogs captain Robert Murphy injured his knee.
Oh no.
For the rest of 2016, the much-loved Bulldog would have to watch his team from the sidelines. The Bulldogs bounced back the next week, but more injuries suffered against the Blues made the round 4 win costly.
He's pulled the string with a monster kick, and his hamstring is gone.
And in round 5, the Bulldogs beat Brisbane by 53 points, but again, victory came at cost. Recruit Matt Suckling tweaked the medial ligament in his reconstructed right knee and re-injured a rolled ankle. The Bulldogs went down to North Melbourne in round 6, but not without a fight. In a return to their early season form, the Bulldogs kicked their highest score of the season against Adelaide to give the biggest indication yet they can overcome their injuries and match it with the best. Holding on in a desperate finish to win by 15 points, with young star Marcus Bontempelli sealing the win.
He's hit it pretty nicely, and he's kicked it right through. They get around it from everywhere.
The Bulldogs kept pace with the top sides by dismantling Melbourne by 32 points at the MCG. Liberatore was dogged in his approach, equalling the VFL-AFL tackles record with 19.
From 55, he's been tackling all afternoon. Now he's kicking goals.
Next stop for the Bulldogs was Sydney, the Greater Western Sydney Giants' home ground of Spotless Stadium. The Dogs tried a few different things to stop the Giants' momentum, but nothing seemed to work, and they returned home with a 25-point loss. In round 10, the Bulldogs admitted to dodging a bullet. They were forced to scrap and scramble, but
the defender, the skipper, is he a goal scorer? It's long, it's good, it's pure, and the Dogs will love that.
But overcame an injury-hit Magpies for a 21-point win. Against the West Coast Eagles in round 11, the Dogs survived a late comeback to win by just 8 points.
11 games down for the Dogs, 8 wins, and they are absolutely for real.
In front of 40,000 fans at Adelaide Oval, the Bulldogs took on Port Adelaide and held off the Power in a thriller.
Seconds keep rolling. 4, 3, 2. Dogs win an epic.
Beveridge described it as one of the best.
I imagine it was a pretty good spectacle to watch. It was definitely on the edge of the seat stuff from a coaching point of view, but yeah, I thought our players were enormous today.
Before the calm of a round 14 bye came the chaos of a round 13 caning at the hands of the Cats. Geelong was clinical and punished the inaccurate Dogs, winning by 57 points. Returning to take on Sydney in round 15, the Bulldogs needed to bounce back and did. Jason Johannesson booted a goal in the dying seconds to give his side a thrilling 4-point win.
He's living the dream!
Coach Luke Beveridge said this game was worth about 10 wins. Back home at Etihad Stadium, the Bulldogs met the Tigers and survived an almighty scare from Richmond to escape by just 10 points.
Package! Stringer has kicked 4 goals! Boy, has he delivered in the last quarter!
The Bulldogs then vaulted back up the ladder with a comfortable 48-point win over an injury-depleted Gold Coast. But the round 17 win looked to have come at a significant cost, with Jake Stringer suffering a suspected shoulder injury. The injury-ravaged Bulldogs' premiership chances took another big hit in round 18 with a 15-point loss to St Kilda. More pain with a season-ending injury to Mitch Wallace with a badly broken leg, and Jack Redpath ruptured his ACL.
They're really hurting and feeling it. Obviously a little bit disappointed about the loss, but they're really feeling it for Mitch and his family, and also for Red and his family.
The wounded Bulldogs journeyed to Simmons Stadium to face fellow top 4 aspirant Geelong, keen to reverse the 57-point hammering from 5 weeks earlier. That didn't happen, losing by 25 points this time. In round 20, the Bulldogs struck a psychological blow ahead of September, defeating North Melbourne by 14 points in a spiteful clash at Etihad Stadium. The Bulldogs then survived the scare to go a step closer to confirming their place in the top 6 on the ladder with a thrilling 3-point win over Collingwood.
Dogs are going to win! Fans erupt!
And the Dogs' bid to secure a home elimination final remained on track after they romped to a comfortable 40-point win over Essendon. But like it had in many victories previously, the win would come at a high cost, with acting captain Easton Wood forced from the ground late in the third term. The Dogs did not finish the season on a good note, losing to Fremantle, which sent Matthew Pavlich into retirement in style with a gritty 20-point upset. It was a dog of a day. Nothing went right, and they were consigned to a 7th place finish and an elimination final against West Coast. The first game of the finals after a refreshing new bye week, the Dogs produced one of the greatest finals wins in the club's history, stunning West Coast by 47 points to march into a semi-final.
The Western Bulldogs have won a famous victory.
And like most football fans, the coach was stunned.
In our wildest dreams, think we were going to maybe play that well.
If the Dogs were to go any deeper into the finals, they would have to overcome 3-time defending premiers Hawthorn in the semis. And in front of more than 87,000 fans at the MCG, that's exactly what they did.
It's been 55 years to the day they've won consecutive finals.
The gold and brown era over as the Dogs ended Hawthorn's triple premiership reign and advanced to their first preliminary final since 2010. In a stunning performance that continued the Bulldogs' fairy tale September, they outmuscled and outran their more experienced opponents to win by 23 points.
Oh, Stringer! Yes!
It made for just the second time since 1998 that a team has won through to a prelim final from 7th spot on the ladder. Afterwards, a gracious losing coach, Alistair Clarkson, gave his opposite a hug and wished him well. The Bulldogs, with many excited supporters in tow, travelled to Spotless Stadium in Sydney to face the Giants in an historic preliminary final at the venue. It was a final for the ages.
Picked up by Daniel! Goal! Play of the year!
Tory Dixon had a set shot at goal after the siren, hitting the post for the most glorious behind in Bulldogs history.
The siren will sound. A 55-year drought ended. The Dogs are in the grand final.
A sensational 6-point win and their first grand final in more than half a century. The Bulldogs, who had lost 9 of their 10 previous grand final qualifiers, were now within 1 win of their first premiership since 1954. Standing in their way, the Sydney Swans in the biggest show of all.